What is good, people? How we doing today? I know. We back at it again, right? I know y'all talking about Dirk. It's a Thursday night. Why are we streaming today? You don't stream on Thursday nights. Well, listen, I don't know. We're going to have a conversation today, though, because some shit has gone down, all right, and there's some stuff to talk about. And obviously, the stuff that we're talking about has to do with Fresh and Fit. Yeah, you know, those guys, the gift that keeps on giving. So far throughout 2022, I mean, we didn't get 5 days into the new year, and they've been bumbling through. Jesus. I mean, it's getting pretty interesting, all right? So, for those of you guys who don't already know, and don't blame yourself, because DJ Academics recently put the video out about a couple hours ago. Was it 9 hours ago, right? So he puts the video out, basically them on the podcast with Brittany Renner. Yes, Fresh and Fit are on the same podcast with Brittany Renner. Oh, hey, oh shit! This is huge because you would think getting on a platform with Brittany Renner. Guys, I don't think y'all understand. We talk about Brittany Renner. You know, the chica that, these guys basically put up there as the poster woman of basically what not to deal with, right? The type of bride to stay away from, the type of woman that young men in which they're educating should stay away from, right? So throughout this whole time, Fresh and Fit's been getting up there, in their popularity. They've been using Brittany Renner as a cautionary tale example for their audience. Now, they had a real world opportunity to confront the very woman, all right? The queen of, matter of fact, she wrote the Bible for finessing rappers and athletes. So you have the opportunity to speak with this woman in the flesh. And guess what? Right? It went exactly how you would expect it to go. Very, very interesting. Now, to be fair, we got clips. All right. It seems like they spliced everything together. But we're going to analyze the clips that we see, we've all seen at this point, or most of us, and we're going to break it down, all right? And I'm going to have a special guest, and I'm going to be breaking down this with together. So you guys definitely don't want to miss this, because this is going to be an amazing stream, okay? So just to make sure we preface everything, because I was watching kind of around the whole situation or circumstance that was going on before they got into that interview, and apparently they had that whole thing planned. So Myron and not Myron, the other guy, basically flew on over to New York, and essentially they were going over to do a show with yours truly, Andrew Schultz. All right, now guys, Andrew Schultz, he's up there. We want to talk about mainstream. Listen, I made that announcement a couple live streams ago. Fresh and Fit, they've officially made it mainstream. It is what it is. All right, you can do whatever it is that you want with that news. However, is it positive or negative? That is yet to be seen. Okay, so Andrew Schultz in New York, how amazing is that? Right? And here's the thing. Who else is in New York? Well, we also know that DJ Academics is also in New York, all right? So they also went to go and do a podcast with him. But DJ Academics had a special guest in mind. As a matter of fact, a guest so special that Myron didn't even know about it. The other guy did, all right? What's his name? Fresh Prince. I forgot your name. Fresh Prince CEO. All right, see, I got to do my cadence thing because I forget your name. All right, so Fresh Prince CEO, okay, and DJ Academics kind of already knew that Brittany Renner was coming to this event, right? She was going to come to this interview. Everyone knew but Myron, all right? And they kind of kept it a surprise, and that's why when you seen the video that we're going to break down today, why Myron is he kind of seemed a little shook. But listen. Don't just sit here and take it and hear from me, all right? I want you guys to hear from one of yours truly, Steve, the Dean Williams from the mindset.com. Class is in freaking session, people. How you doing?
What's good, man? We got the lines up, too, if you want to put the scroll on there.
That's right, guys, we got a new way of doing things now after what happened before, but guess what, the lines are gonna be up. We're gonna be doing phone call ins. All right, do you want me to pin the number too, by the way?
Yeah, it's in the back. If you look at the back of the private chat.
Oh, perfect. I see it right there. All right, so we're gonna be definitely doing call-in shows, but our call-in shows are gonna be a little bit different. So let's go ahead and paste the link. All right, we'll paste it right there. And guys, you already know how we do, all right? Before we even get to a call-in, we got to get at least 100 likes, all right? As we're going throughout this show, we need 100 likes, all right? As we go throughout this breakdown, we need to get there, all right? Because that's the minimum before we get ourselves to the call-in portion. So, with that being said, hey, Dean, first of all, you're the one who sent me this, the whole, the initial, because you were digging. You were like, holy shit, because I wouldn't have been aware of this, because to be honest with you, I pay attention to Fresh and Fit, but I won't be paying attention to it. So, when I saw it, I'm like, yo, I got it. What the fuck? What was running through your mind when you saw that? But
well, a lot of things running through my mind. First thing is that it really showed what happens when you talk a lot of shit about people, and then when you get your foot to the fire, you nut the fuck up like a bitch, and you just sit there. It's like, just get all with it. When a motherfucker cannot debate, where do they go to tactics? And all he kept saying was, we'll get to that later. I'm sorry, but yeah, it was pretty amazing, because the problem is that it was a setup by they set it up where he didn't know, okay, but that doesn't matter, because if you gonna talk that motherfucking shit, it doesn't matter. Right. Who's around that corner. You supposed to be prepared to go and handle yourself. And if you think about it, it was two motherfuckers versus one, and she ate them motherfuckers.
She was ready. Like, her body language. Listen. After this, man, like, honestly, I've always found Brittany Renner is very attractive. But after this interview, damn woman, I'm gonna be having, damn. damn, we gonna talk. Listen,
Yeah, we're gonna talk about this.
listen. I'm just saying the way she handled herself in that podcast, it was very interesting to watch, right? Because it almost seemed like she came in to be surgical, and there was something, and we're gonna do a step-by-step playbook breakdown because this is, I feel like this is warranted for that. We have to break this down because there were certain movements, certain energy in the room that you can sense and feel the tension. That if you cut that bitch with a scissors, I'm telling you, Steve. So we're gonna break all that down because I want to show you guys. All right. That this alpha beta nonsense that these guys talk about, it's nothing but a fucking flow state. All right. That's what I've been saying this entire time. This whole dynamic. Oh, you're alpha. And if you don't do this, you're out, you're beta, right? Listen, man, it's a flow state. Everyone flows within those states, alphas and betas. For instance, you go in one situation, where you're more dominant, you're going to be considered the alpha in that situation, right? But if you go to another scenario, let's say, you're not a math geek, all right, but you go in and join a math club, well, you're not going to be the alpha there, right? The head alpha is going to be the senior nerd, all right, the top nerd in that particular environment, all right, versus they go to athletics, and that's more of your speed, you're going to be the top dog in that athletics. So it's pretty much a spectrum that you can flow between, right? And in this podcast, you would see basically how someone goes from alpha to beta, back to alpha, but then back to beta again. And it was interesting. And what I want you guys to understand, right, is to pay attention to, we're going to use this as a learning thing, right? We're not even like just pretty much talking about the whole fresh and fit and whatnot, but a learning thing on how you guys can use your bodies and use your words and how to in framing, right? Because we talk about framing and how to present arguments and things like that. How to do proper framing and body language to get the desired result. Pretty much basically becoming the alpha in the room or transitioning your flow state. All right. So go ahead and get your pen and notebooks out. All right. Get your school glasses on or get your whatever it is that you need to do to get ready, because we about to dissect some shit. Now, before we go into this video, I wanted to go ahead and preface because our buddy here, King Academics or DJ Academics, has a proclivity to striking down videos of his that are word for word. So I just want to let you guys know that the video that we're going to be playing today has been heavily altered. All right. It is actually literally not the same video. It's most likely not even on YouTube platform. So it is a completely different video, completely transformed for our audience and viewership. So guys, as we go ahead and transition to this, please make sure you get the likes up, and you're fucking with what you see so far, don't hesitate to hit that sub button. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it because there's a lot to dissect here. All right, let me get this screen. Guys, let's do this. All right, my audio up. And boom. All right. Let me get my logo out the way. So, yeah, change everything up. Change I could even add some more shit too if I wanted to. Literally, I was doing this backstage. I was like, oh, I gotta edit this bitch out. But let me go ahead and get all this set up right here. All right, so as you guys understand, this was right at the start of the entire podcast, right? Myron stepping in there, not really understanding what he's walking himself into. I'm gonna full screen this. All right, things are always better in black and white, guys. They're always better in black and white, and we can slow it down if we really need to. But all right, here we go. There we go. All right, so pay attention. All right, first things first. They're on the table. They're getting ready to sit down and go ahead and have themselves a conversation, okay? At this point in time, Myron, walking into this room, completely did not expect Brittany Renner to be on this show. He literally was just expecting an off-the-record podcast with the DJ Academics and just the two of them, right? And out of nowhere, boom, here we go. Let's go ahead and get started, guys. Get your BS hats on and let's get going.
Today. So we walk in, you first see Brittany Renner, and we're thinking you're probably gonna be like, okay, shit, we're gonna have this great debate. But you said initially, like, really like debate.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. We've always said, like, men and women, we're very different. We have opposing goals. Like, girls are trying to, get resources, time, attention out of guys. Guys are trying to get sex. And girls, a lot of the time, are trying to get what they need to get out of dudes without necessarily giving it up. And some girls are good at it, some girls aren't. And then there's other girls that are kind of models for that are good at finessing dudes. And not to say that you're a finesser, I ain't saying that, but girls are able to, run laps around a lot of guys. And that's why our podcast exists, to help dudes out to understand like how women operate and how they move.
Now, you
So-
have a different point of view.
Wait. Where do you think she fits in that? Because
I like how, first of all, let's talk about the room dynamics here, okay? Now, one thing you really got to understand, and we'll rewind and back in case you guys missed a whole lot that's going on. The first things first, we go. So what? Yeah, he took some notes. All right. What do you notice about, guys? I'm gonna give you this. What do you guys notice about the body language and how everything is being set up right now, right? Because up until this point, right, Myron was going ahead and explaining his story and what's going on, and hey, well, I think women are, this, and they have all this subscribed to them, value XYZ, right? So he's going over explaining. And what was Brittany Renner doing?
Relax.
Okay. Relax, right? Leaning forward. Look at Myron.
Right. Yes.
Myron's got, first of all, he's not even close to the table. The table's right here, all right?
Yeah.
He's got
Defense.
one arm on the table, the other one on his side, all right?
Yes.
So he's already, this is defensive. He's getting ready. He's back in defensive manner right now, and she's leaning forward. She's basically conveying her little confidence right now, like, hey, whatever's going to happen right now that you're going to talk about, because I'm expecting you to talk about me some kind of way. All right. I'm going to let you know by this little giggle, this little smile, this little woo-woo, it not going to bother me. That's what she's basically saying in this particular picture. And you notice before Fresh chimed up, he got shut down by DJ Academics, letting you know that this motherfucker right here is the least important nigga in the room. All right. Moving forward, keep this in mind. This is the least important nigga in the room. All right. That lesson number one. So you guys understand that. So we'll continue, and then we'll play everything back. So go ahead.
Yeah, real quick. I just want to say, if you notice what he's doing now is he's backing off of all the shit he talking by coming up with a fucking excuse about women and resources and all that other stuff. So what he's doing, guys, is that he's off his square. He ain't off his Tampax. Excuse me, he ain't got no fucking square. He off his Tampax right now, and now he's like trying to formulate a move to make now, because like I say, he's back, she's forward. You can see she's relaxed, she's laid back, and she looked like she got her shit together, D. Like she
absolutely.
He looked like, oh shit. Well, let me go ahead. Now remember, guys, regurgitate all that fucking Rolo Tomasi bullshit. That's all.
They can't do it. They can't do it. Why? I told you, you get this girl in front of you, these dudes will fold. When y'all asked me, would you have Brittany Renner on the podcast? I said no, because I will fold. I know for a fact I'll fold. A man literally sitting in front of this woman, how she's doing this and whatnot, I'm like, hey, listen, baby, she's already changing my mind right now, and I ain't even talking to her. All right? She's just basically being her, all right? And all these guys have been talking shit. They've been building her up, right? Because she's been this example of thought culture, the Renner, that like this is her right now. This is confrontation. She is sitting right in front of your face. It's like looking at your childhood porn star for the first time, like right here. All right, and now fucking Myron has the old shit reality of fuck. Like god damn, this is real. I don't know how to handle this. Like I don't know, so I'm gonna freeze up and go to my usual stalking point. And it's not even your usual one. It's your least aggressive talking point. You guys notice that? The talking point he's using where women get away with all these different things and men don't. That's your least resources. That's your least aggressive talking points. What about the her being a baby trapper with Brittany Renner? Hey, DJ Academics was not afraid to bring it up. Hey, he was not afraid to bring it up. So hey, listen. If I was on my square, okay, and I didn't want to appear to look like a bitch, and she said that statement, what do you think about me? All right, say what you were saying about me, right? I would say, hey, you a baby trapper, all right? You a demon, and you wrote the Bible for thought culture, and I'm putting the blame on you. Why didn't you say that? Where your cojones, where your balls at, dog? But when you're sitting in front of a girl, right? She batting them eyelashes at you, and no, she throwing them things,
right.
right? And she's
Right.
having fun, and you know, look, she
Man,
got y'all nervous.
Oh, she
I
got
was watching the back end of this, right? I was watching the back end because Fresh does these vlogs and things like that. So I was watching his vlogs about them in a room, and when Fresh was talking to her, he was nervous. And they weren't even on the podcast or nothing. Academics was sitting down, chilling, you know, talking her up and whatnot. Dude was sitting there. Matter of fact, you know what he was focused on? Academics' chain, bro, and his ring. Go watch that. You go. I'm not saying, I'm not gonna plug this, but like that's what he was doing, right? But I'm telling you, bro, when it comes down to it, alpha, beta, these are all flow states. So what you're witnessing right now, before we continue the video, is a transition from that flow state to this person right over here, who is obviously rocking the art of subtlety right now. Okay, she's rocking it. Bernie L, shout out to you for the $5 super chat. Shout out to you, Bernie. Oh, Bernie's got a channel too, by the way, guys. Go ahead and check it out. Drop your channel in the chat. Also, moderators, drop Dean's channel in the chat too as well. Show some love. Salute Dean. Salute Steve. Duke and Don. Let's chop it up. Yeah, absolutely. I read that completely wrong, bro. I swear to God, I'm dyslexic. I swear to God, bro. I read that completely backwards.
Yeah.
Let's continue.
Yeah.
So, I think her point of view would be diametrically opposed to you guys by saying, well, I'm not the
This is the setup.
typical person who you may think dudes are running into or you're trying to tell people to stay away from.
I mean, well, sure, she could tell. She was saying,
Hold up. Look at the body language. All right. This dude is looking like he's in church getting ready for a confession, bro.
Yeah.
This is all nervous behavior. But notice he's about to deflect to her. Just watch.
saying that we're wrong, I guess, about that.
Well,
So you tell us a little bit about yourself. Then.
No, I think you know more about me than I do myself. So you're saying
no.
obviously you do though, because you said that you warn guys about girls like me. So tell me about girls like me. Humor
Women
me.
in general.
Well, no, don't women in general.
Women in general.
No, she.
Hold on, I gotta pull it back, Dean. I gotta pull it back, Dean. And what I'm gonna do, Dean, I'm gonna slow it down, Dean.
Okay.
I'm gonna slow it down for us, Dean. I was slow it down because there's some things said that I think we needed to let's put it at 80. Let's put it at that.
All right.
I think she fits in that because I think her point of view would be diametrically opposed to you guys by saying, well, I'm not the exact typical person who you may think dudes are running into or you're trying to tell people to stay away from.
I mean, well, sure, she could tell. She was saying that we're wrong, I guess, about that.
Well,
so you tell us a little bit about yourself. Then.
Immediate deflection.
Wait, why is he
Immediate
asking?
deflection.
But why is he asking her to tell him about herself? Why is he asking her to tell her about him about her about herself when he's supposed to automatically know who she is?
Dean.
As
I don't know, Dean.
Oh my God.
Dean. I don't know, Dean. The host of the platform asks you directly, you deflect to the real alpha in the room, right? What's happening?
Jesus.
What's happening? What's happening? Listen, guys, for those of you guys who are just filing in, all right, you go ahead and hit that like button, but I want y'all to pay attention to this, all right? The first rule of the game you got to understand of this dynamic right now, this motherfucker right here is the least important person in this room. Okay, so throughout this entire duration of this podcast, we're going to be focusing our attention on these three. All right, but watch how he was asked a question about, hey, okay, DJ Academic, I'm going to reframe this. I'm going to pass it off to you, Dean, so you can break it down. But DJ Academic just framed the question as, hey, someone like Brittany Renner, all right, a woman like her is someone who is basically diametrically opposed to your ideologies and what you say on your podcast. All right, so go ahead and list out some of those things right here, right now that you have that you said to your guys about her, about what the issue is. And Myron then takes that question, and what he does is, listen, it's standard deflection, all right? You guys got to understand when guys deflect, okay? So what he does is he's like, I'm going to catch it. Woo! Hot potato. I'm going to throw it right back to her, all right? So he caught it, tossed it right back to her, and he reframed it. All right, you guys got to understand framing arguments. And he said, well, I guess you're the one that thinks that we're inaccurate about you. Why don't you go ahead and explain to us where we got wrong? So getting her to basically start just showing her hand right off the bat, and then giving them room to respond at whatever argument she brings forward, which we all know it's easier to listen to respond to trigger points than to listen to respond to actual arguments. So Brittany, already being very socially astute, okay, that's why she makes her so dangerous. She caught that pass, and she said, nah, flea flicker. Caught it and said, no. You're the one that knows apparently more about me. So why don't you tell me about me since I'm sitting right here? And this is why it's so powerful, and Myron can't go further than this, right? Because in a way that she framed it, it made perfect sense. It's because, listen, technically I'm Brittany Renner. I don't have podcasts talking about y'all. So the audience can understand if I don't fucking know y'all or care about y'all. So you guys have a podcast. You guys built an audience talking about women that look and act like me. So if anything, when she makes that statement saying Myron knows more about her than me, so have her explain since he's the factual one, where can you go? You can't, because now she just chest locked you into a wall. This is check right now.
Yes.
Go ahead, Dean.
It's a beautiful checkmate, gentlemen, if y'all watching right now, because if you think, okay, listen, now let me holler you what D is talking about. You see, when his platform, everything he's been doing since he's been doing this is talking shit about women. That's all he's been doing. That's his stick, to talk shit about women. Now he's in front of a woman that's giving him blowback, because if y'all think about it, all the women that he had around his table, they don't give him blowback. They don't give him attitude like this. They don't ever challenge him. So what she's saying is, since you talk so much shit about women like me, then why don't you tell me about me? And then if you notice, D, he's like, well, tell me about yourself. See, he's saying, well, go back and play, D. Well, tell me about yourself. But wait a second. Why are you asking about her if your whole platform is on women like her? Meaning you should already know what the fuck she is. So she asked you, you should be able to just dip. But
Dean,
what's up?
No, I was gonna say you are so right. And here's the thing, because this is what people don't understand about social dynamics and when you're in them, right? Because when that question was flipped to you, he had an opportunity to literally stand his ground, the same way we're talking about with Asian Doll, by literally being straightforward and real with her. Right?
Yes.
At least that would have garnered you in some respect. But then when you flip the question, and even the manner that he did this, guys, especially guys who are original listeners of this platform, all right? What do you guys understand what I've told you when someone does a body language like this with open palms? Open palms meaning I'm trying to show you that I am not a threat, all right? I'm not hiding anything. My palms are not down, all right? I'm not concealing. I'm showing you everything, bro. So why don't you, all right, Caesar,
Planet Apes, right?
Why don't you tell me what I got wrong? So when Brittany, her subconscious is picking up, oh, this thing is a bitch. Oh, the same thing Asian Doll picked up. You see what I'm saying? So, guys, this is why you have to be socially aware, all right? 100% of the conversation, I won't say 100%. I would say a good freaking 87% of the dialogue is happening subconsciously right now.
Right. This is your king. And guys, if you follow guys like this is why you guys fail.
Here's the open palm. I'm going to just pause it right there. So go ahead, D.
This is why a lot of guys fail, because when you get in situations in front of a real woman, see, you can talk all the shit from the comfort of your home, but when you get around a real woman and she smell bitch, which we'll see later on this thing, they're going to check your motherfucking ass.
There you go.
You're so busy bitching and talking shit about women, but you can't even back up the shit you talking. You want her to listen. You want her to tell you about what you have been telling these motherfuckers for a year now. How the fuck that work.
That makes no freaking sense. Dean. It
What?
makes no sense. I'm telling you guys, manhood step by step right here. And it's not even talking about like listen. At this point, it's not even just this is if hey, Myron Gaines, freshman CEO, like well, I don't know about you, Fresh. Like listen, no dig against you, but you literally have nothing to supply here. You haven't throughout this entire interaction.
D, real quick. Here's the thing that's odd because he is the silent one, but here's the question. He the little chirp motherfucker that's always co-signing everything that motherfucker says.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what the fuck is he so quiet? See, he's so quiet because he's waiting to try to co-sign some shit
Off of Myron.
That
That's what it is. Because
Goddamn
he's waiting. Because what you guys got to understand, a lot of this stuff is talking points. A lot of this stuff is talking points, and that's why they're waiting. And right now, Myron didn't even. And to be fair, it's just this particular clip. We don't know. All right, we don't know if they actually had a conversation. But towards the end, Brittany actually bring it up. Oh, like my thought culture and baby Rob and PJ Washington, whatnot. And they didn't really dive into that, right? But it's more of the lines of you guys got to understand like the dynamics here. Because when we're talking about game, when we're talking about relationships, when we're talking about interpersonal communication, it's not a standardized thing when you're just like looking at goddamn what do you call it, sales courses or fake fitness courses like some people like to sell on the internet, right? While not having the same consistency and dedication. So you know what I'm saying? So it's like these guys, what you're seeing right now is people who don't follow their own rules. That's what it is. They're not teaching you about the interpersonal communication side of it. You're not going to learn about people just by buying a course. You're not going to learn about people just by sitting here and listening to people talk. You'll get an idea, but now you need to test it in the real world. All right? That's just what it is. So when you test it in the real world, you're able to pick up subconscious cues quicker and understand how to maneuver in social situations. It's almost like a goddamn superpower. Understanding other people before you Like, listen, man, it's like knowing how a conversation is going to play out before it even starts. That's just how it is because you have such a great understanding of your situation and the people around you. And that's what we're trying to teach y'all. And we're using these guys as a great teachable moment. Let's continue. So we're going to back it up just before
one thing, D.
He flips the question back. Go ahead.
Real quick, D. And if you notice, see, a lot of guys, y'all understand, all they doing is talking shit. They're not teaching you anything. But what you have to understand about this woman you're looking at, she's met a motherfucker like that before. So that's where her confidence and arrogance is from, because the average sucker does sucker shit like this with the palms out. So she knows she's got the high ground right now. She's got the high ground, and she ain't gonna give that shit up.
Nope. Not at all. Now she's gonna lock it. And that's the thing about power dynamics, guys. All right. When you're dealing with power dynamics, what do we know one thing about power, especially when you give it to people? Well, it's very hard for them to let it go. Matter of fact, they'll kill you before they let it go, right? So now that she has established that she is now the alpha in this room, all right, she's not gonna let this go. And you know what's fucking crazy? This is the same. Why is it that every time a woman is an alpha in the room, the betas are fresh and fit? Like, what is going on? Like, what? Like, no, seriously, right? If they're actually sharp types of women, right, that aren't some of these drunk bimbos you call drunk bimbo, I'm using your verbiage, right? Why is it that now all of a sudden you're not so tough? So when we were talking about girls like Asian Doll and your stands coming here and talking about, oh, she was rude, I'm like, no, I don't give a fuck if she was rude. I don't give a fuck if she was flirtatious. I don't give a fuck. The fact of the matter is, she is Asian Doll, and she's a certain type of woman, and you got to treat her differently. She's not the same when we're dealing with these safe type of women who aren't gonna freaking deal with you back, or obviously probably we don't know the content of what's going on, but obviously probably no alcohol in front of her, so she's not drinking, so she's got all her faculties about her. Everything's on an equal playing field now. So what's happening here? Why aren't you able to alpha the situation?
Can't do it, D. You can't out alpha. You can't out alpha when you're not an alpha. He's a surface dweller. All he does is surface information, dog. He ain't deep. So when a surface dweller meets a woman that knows you're a surface dweller, you've already lost your argument. The argument, look, it's already over with as soon as he didn't stand on his motherfucking square. It was already over, man.
There you go. There you go. And even how this dynamic played out, it is what it is, guys. You got to understand that, but it's just, and take it with a grain of salt, right? But I want you guys to understand that when you young men listen to this stuff, going to other social dynamics, right? Just understand you don't have to always be the alpha, in the whole room. Just be chill, bro. Just be yourself. All right. If it's not your dynamic, that's fine. All right. In fact, people stand out when they're more by themselves, right? When they do what they need to do best. And that's understanding who you are. And you do it with the confidence because you're confident within your own skin. All right. People who don't get that kind of attention are people who obviously are not confident in their own skin. Talk Quan to me. Thank you for the $5 super chat. She definitely pulled a Myron card, confettied, and Fresh had 6 words the whole conversation. Yeah, that's why I said he's the least important character in this room. So, like, Fresh no digging as you is just that you have zero substance to add right now, okay? Like, literally, if anything, Myron's kind of like the main focus of this whole show. And it kind of was the same way with the, if you guys really noticed with, what's his name? When he went on Farah with the Asian doll thing, right? Because they didn't really care too much about Fresh. I mean, Fresh came in and talked to him, but Shabazz wanted to talk to Malik Shabazz wanted to talk to Myron specifically. So, I mean, when you look at the broad consensus, Fresh on the grand scales of importance, it's up in the air, guys. All right, I'll leave it up to the chat. All right, 1, if Fresh is equally as important, or 2, if Fresh is, if Fresh isn't. All right, 1, if he's important, 2, if he isn't. Let's continue.
You're trying to tell people to stay away from.
I mean, well, sure, she could tell. She was saying that we're wrong, I guess, about that.
Well,
so tell us a little bit about yourself. Then.
No,
she was telling us we were wrong, I guess.
And again, Arms, look at his hand, and you tell us.
It's getting ready to return back into the same comfortable position that he's comfortable with, right? And this dude, I know we're not going to pay attention to him, but we're still going to pay attention to his body language, all right? Not so much what he says, because you guys got to understand, what's building in this room is tension. Tension is building in this room, all right? And this dude doesn't realize that he's unwillingly adding to it, right? He is tensing up. He is not moved from this position. We're about 1 minute in right now. He is not moved, all right? And Myron, the only time he moved was when he was open palms to deflect and then right back to the same position, all right? So let's continue here. There's a lot of tension being built up right now in this room. And Brittany, watch how when she starts to become frantic with her movements, and mind you, she's calm, but she knows how to elevate. And just like when I talk, right, I know how to be calm. I can switch between a different tone of voices. I can be calm like this, and I can really be loud and move. And it's called being able to manipulate your vocals, right? Being able to speak in tonality, right? And not speak in this monotone kind of voice. Bueller. No, you got to be able to speak with different kind of flows, different kind of rhythms, different kind of patterns, right? Because that's the same kind of things that keep people engaged. I can move my hands all sort of way and increase the not only sound of my voice, but the tempo in which I speak, and it can make it seem like I'm very, very angry or agitated, but I'm really not. If anything else, I could be really excited. I could be really passionate, or I can dial it back here. We could just have a simple, smooth conversation. See, people who are masters of understanding interpersonal dynamics, you can flow from any state that you want, because that's human nature. We're not rigid people. Ain't no shit is alpha or beta. You're just you, depending on where you are in time. Let's continue.
I think you know more about me than I do myself. So you're saying, no, obviously you do, though, because you said that you warn guys about girls like me. So tell me about girls like me.
Just women in general. Like, I mean,
don't women in general, because you literally specifically said before we got on here
this was an off-camera conversation.
that you did say that
That's true.
You warn guys about girls like me. So now that we're face to face, what kind of girl am I?
You're not special. You're like other girls. That's the key.
I'm not special.
You're like other women that are.
So what makes you special then?
I never said I was, but you're trying to say, well, what makes me different?
I got to stop it right there, right? Because here's the thing. Here's what when he said that, first of all, open palms, all right? Now he's getting ready to say, look, it's not my fault. Hey, whoa. I don't want to catch this right now. I don't want to catch it. But you know what would be the perfect answer to what he would have just said, right? What happened to being a high-value man? I would have pulled up your Seeking Arrangements account, right? And your Seeking Arrangement account, you were talking about how tall you were. You were talking about how rare your height was, how rare your income was, right? So when she all of a sudden asks you how special you are, all of a sudden you say you're not special.
Wait, don't get up. Get back away.
Ding. Make it make sense, dog. Make it make sense, dog. Like, what's going on? How you going? You're sitting right there. You have your chance to spit your high facts, high value, great value nonsense. All right, the same shit you've been selling to all these young men, and all of a sudden, what?
Yes.
Wait, time out. When she asks you what's so special about you, high value man, all of a sudden goes out the window. All the things that make you special, all of a sudden, going out the window. You didn't stand on your square, and now she knows. You think she's dumb? Of course she watches your content because you talk about it, all right? Of course she pays attention to how you behave on your platform versus how you're behaving now, and she senses and smells the weakness. And what y'all about to experience is just that little encroachment. It's like the hand slowly wrapping around his neck, right? And this dude right now, he's feeling it, right? And this guy's cool. He's cool, just chilling right here. He's like, hey,
hands crossed. Hey, D.
Go ahead, Dean. All
right, everybody. D, I want you to go back for a second. Everybody, I want you to understand tempo in this, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's when you know you have confidence. You know what you're talking about. You're not going to pause. Now, D, go back to when she asked him the question and look in the game. 2 seconds or 1 second are weeks and months to a motherfucker with no game. As soon as she asked him that question, he should have, again, like D say, I'm a high value man because I'm tall. I'm from Nukudu, Sudan, where the fuck he is from. And you know what? I got money and I got status and all this. Right. So
right. Listen, if you have that kind of talking point and you say it so much to the point you literally are bold enough to put it on your Seeking Arrangements profile, right? Or to all the women you've been texting that are not the Brittany Renners, right? So why is it all of a sudden when you're being confronted, you can't keep or stick to the same target? No, and this is just a fair criticism. I'm actually confused why you didn't say that answer. Like, that shit just came off the top of your head, Myron. But instead you said,
well, yeah, but guys,
I never said I was special.
Right, but guys, gentlemen, let me tell y'all something. D is special to D. I'm special to me. I would never, ever tell somebody that I'm not special. You're supposed to be a leader. You're supposed to be leading all these motherfucking cave-dwelling motherfuckers that follow you, and they're following somebody that says, I'm not special? But hey, D, play it again. And look at the pause, guys. The pause tells you everything. The pause. Please press play.
So, because here's the thing. After, okay, because there's one thing I want you guys to pay attention. Because she doubles down. All right. So she doubles up on the question because here's the thing. When you're and this is going to be how great to help you guys become good debaters. All right. When you're debating people, when you sense someone's trying to wiggle out of the point you initially asked them, right? And what you will notice that she does is she restates the question and she specifies it, right? So initially she's like, all right, you let me know what you know about me, right? Tell me what you know about me. And then he's like, well, women in general. Now, when Myron's saying that, because she's pretty much pointing a laser at him, right? It's a targeted laser. All right, here's a question. Well, tell me to my face what it is that you know about me, all right? And when Myron, he's feeling that laser, but the thing is, he doesn't want to fire it back. And pay attention to eye contact because there's no eye contact here, right? So he doesn't want to fire it back directly. So his immediate, which is, if you want to say alpha beta, that's a beta tendency. So your beta tendency is to basically say, all right, well, hold on. All in women in general, right? But we're not talking about women in general. We're talking about her. And Brittany Renner said, no, and restate. We're not talking about women in general. You're talking about me. So go ahead and tell me what you thought about me. All right. You're talking about I'm not special. So are you special? What makes you special? Right. So she doubled up on the question. So let's go ahead and play this because this is right when he tossed it at her, and then we'll go from there.
Well, sure, she could tell. She was saying that we're wrong, I guess, about that.
Well,
so tell us a little bit about yourself. Then.
No, I think you know more.
That's the first flip, and now she's flipping it right. You can literally visit. You can see it. You can literally. I'm telling you guys. When I tell you guys that 80% of over 80% of conversations is nonverbal, you can feel it. You can see it. She's tossing it right. He tossed it to her. She's tossing it right back to him. All right, and you're gonna watch.
More about me than I do myself. So you're saying no, obviously you do though, because you said that you warn guys.
He had to look over and now he's laughing because now he's got to release that tension. Like that tension has been building right now because she's dark and throwing daggers at him. So we have subconscious cues to basically release tension. Because why is he laughing? There was nothing funny that she said that was in that contact, right? So it's to release the tension that he's feeling right now because he's pressed. I mean, it's obvious. It's obvious. Well, let's continue.
Guys about girls like me, so tell me about girls like me.
Restates the question.
Here we go.
With the focus now.
Just women in general. Like, I mean,
women in general.
Right,
Myron tries to deflect now.
Yeah, deflect. Right. She's saying no, fuck the general. Me. Don't nobody else but me.
Right.
Well, no, but don't woman in general, because you literally specifically said before we got on here
this is off-camera
that
conversation.
you did say that
That's true.
You warn guys about girls like me. So now that we're face to face, what kind of girl am I?
With the focus.
Straight at him.
The focus. And now you can't. Now he's in a corner. Now Myron has to figure out what he needs to do. He can either answer directly or figure out a way to dodge it, right? So you watch how he handles it, because he's trying to create other options by going general, and then she's closing them. This is how you become conversational masters, all right? This is how you guys become conversational. When someone tries to deflect and create other options or create other different narratives, right? You shut that shit down and you keep it on task, all right? So let's continue.
You're not special. You're like other girls. That's the key.
I'm not special.
Like, you're like other women that are.
So what makes you special then?
So what this is right here is a couple things, guys. You guys got to understand, because this could be a couple things, but I want you guys to understand what's happening here. That little gesture of looking over the DJ Academics, that's basically him being pressed and buying for time. And not only that, he's looking over, and what he's also trying to consciously signify or subconsciously signify is that, hey, what she just said, oh my God, was so stupid, because why would I even think what she's about to say, right? That's the body language. He's now not even looking at her. And mind you, he can't even hold eye contact with her, all right? He can't even hold the eye contact. So without even looking at her, he's trying to deflect over to now he's turning his attention to the academics to kind of agree, like, hey, man, this is kind of, come on, she's right. And now watch how he tries to slide out of this.
I never said I was.
Deflect and lie.
Wait, D. I don't understand. I need to overstand this, not understand. I need to overstand this shit. How in the fuck can you lead other cupcakes and you are saying I'm not special? You can, and the reason why, motherfuckers with game can rattle off special like this and keep talking until the other person says, okay, please shut the fuck up. I get it. You're special to you. But he's not special to him, because Jenna, remember, he's not even using his real motherfucking name. He ain't special. He is a fucking fraud, and he's caught with someone that's hey, if you notice her, you don't see her looking at DJ Academics. You don't see her looking at that little goofy ass motherfucker with his hands.
No, the same thing when he was up face to face with Asian doll.
Dead at him, locking and not moving, and not even smiling. Answer the question.
Look at fresh over here. He's starting to. He's like, oh shit.
Oh yeah,
she's got you, bro. All right. And the thing is, he had an opportunity to respond from a position of strength, but now he deflected. And this right here actually kind of makes him look bad, because actually I think this is one of the bigger parts. Even watching this, I'm like, yo, this right here made you look bad, because if you would have answered back and said, no, I'm a high value man, I'm in the, fuck. You guys are the ones that bastardized the term high value man. You guys took it and threw it all this way. So why can't you just say, okay, what makes you so special? Well, girl, what are you talking about? I'm a high value man. You don't see what I'm doing? You don't see what I'm doing out here? I'm a high value man. I'm special, girl. What makes you special? I had to work for what I had to do. You see all the kind of shit that we grind and all the stuff like we do. You just out here doing your thing and showing you boxing, baby trapping niggas. I would have did that. Show some damn strength. Show some damn strength. But what you did, I never said I was special. So why should anyone listen to you?
Yeah.
Why should anyone care? What's so interesting about you if you're not fucking special?
Exactly. Oh God.
And the crazy thing is, we know it's bullshit because he's the most narcissistic, conceited person out there, bro. Oh, Book of Ronan, shout out to you for the $5 super chat. Man, we already went too far in. Fart and Flaccid are one of many shepherds for Wi-Fi whiners. Digital dorks and keyboard curve-stricken lames who aren't mods in their own lives. That's facts. All right. Some people like to be passengers on their own ship and let other people be the captain. I think it's a sad way to go, but people, they make their own choices. Hey, and thank you for the $5 super chat. Reason Myron with confrontational women is because he hates women. People hate what they fear. The fear comes from not being confident with yourself. That could be the case. That could be. I definitely think he has a lot of anger towards women. Hate and anger is a different thing. But I definitely think he has a lot of anger. And part of it is it's not anger for what do you call it? Maybe heartbroken, but it's just not being. There's a certain level of resentment. That's a word. He's resentful. He's very resentful, right? Maybe girls weren't abundant like he was in it, like he wanted to in his life, right? Maybe. And the thing, part of it could also be him, because a lot of the guys, when they think that way, that means you're too far in your own shit. Like the guys who are super incels, they're actually the most egotistical, narcissistical people you can ever find, because they think so highly of themselves that they should just have girls for the sake of them being men. And that's the problem with a lot of you guys who are in this space. A lot of you guys who are incels, you're incels because you're thinking that you're higher than what you actually are. Like, you're not, bro. Get that ego out of the way and go ahead and just accept that you're just normal. Go talk to people.
D, I just feel real quick, for the first time, I think this is the first time he's ever been honest. I think for the first time since he's been doing all this shit, he finally was honest, and he slipped up on the honesty, because after he says, "I'm not special," and think about the pause of the "oh shit, I don't think I should have said that." Go back and play. Go back and he says, watch me after he say, "I'm not special." Watch that little pause of "oh shit, I don't think I should have said that." Watch.
No, because that was the part that I clued in. I'm like, oh shit. Come on, Myron. You could have done better. And by the way, no hate here. Like, literally no hate here. We are literally trying to help them. And we're covering and help y'all who are following them, so y'all can go over there and help them and let them know Duke and Don sent you. And Dean.
Yeah, you did say that.
That's true.
You warn guys about girls like me. So now that we're face to face, what kind of girl am I?
You're not special. You're like other girls. That's the key.
I'm not special.
Like, you're like other women that are.
So what makes you special then?
I never said I was. But you're trying to say, well, what makes me different from, like, a lot of women operate the way.
I wish
Koba.
Right now.
You see that the whole time, palms up. Guys, look at it. One has his palms up.
Oh no!
Look.
Oh no!
One's up.
So many mistakes, and we're only 2 minutes in this bitch. Like, this is how bad it is. This is how not only bad this is, but this is how important it is. When I talk to you guys about, like, because you guys talk about, oh, where's your books? Where's your flash? Where's all this? No, my proof is in the real world when I talk to people or when I'm interacting with people online, right? That's my proof right there. When you understand the social skills and how they maneuver, then you understand that what people are all about versus what people are capping, right? So there it is. When you're saying that you're a high value man, but when you got pushed by a woman and then you're saying ain't shit about, especially about me, then it's like, what are we saying, right? I mean, okay, listen, I call myself an ain't shit dude, but I say it with a certain level of confidence, right? So obviously when people are hearing that, they're like, okay, you saying you ain't shit, but nigga, come on now. You see what I'm saying? So I understand that, but I already know. But personally, I know that I'm not, but I know for a fact that I don't put myself above other people, right? Yeah. But I'm not, but the thing is, for either way, you should still have some level of confidence. That's a special that Dean is talking about, right? Yes. You should have something, because confident in yourself and your abilities to grow, to do other things, to handle yourself in the real world. That's just what it is. That's what makes you special, because that's something that not a lot of people have.
Right, because what makes me special is I see the big picture. I have vision. I have direction. I communicate. I'm clear, concise, transparent. I go after what I want. I know what I want. I speak to understand. I don't make excuses. I don't beat around the bush. I don't walk on eggshells. He should just be fluttering all this shit. And like you said, or he should go to the bullpen and just grab, I'm a high value man. Even if he said I'm a high value man, I will give him that. He didn't even say that shit.
Yeah.
his whole stick.
I would listen if he would have just said, "What? I'm a high value man. I meet the criteria." If anything, at least fall back in Kevin Samuels' definition. Right? At least it's already the standardized definition. And she did an interview with this nigga, so she already knows what it's all about, and she has a certain level of respect for that. So if you would have just fell back to say, "Hey, listen, I make over 6 figures. All right, I'm actually in the higher percentage of tall guys, right? So right in line with the niggas you were fucking around with. Hey, listen, sis, you're talking about dudes who are 6 over 6'1". Shit, I'm a cool 6'2". You know what I'm saying? So like, listen. Right there. You list off all the shit that Kevin Samuel said, fall back on that, and then you're literally hot potatoing back to her. Your move. But now, the fact that you chose to run and tuck your tails and hide, right? She's gonna come find you because now you're feeding her alphaness. All right. So you want to talk about boss babes and why we have such a huge amount of them and then why they're so prevalent is because they deal with dudes like this. All right. And consistently dealing with dudes who are trained by dudes like this because truly they're the betas fronting like alphas. That's just what it is. That's just what it is. That beta is their natural tendency.
Yes.
It's what it is.
There's not one alpha in the world who says they're not special. I promise you guys. There's no man in the world that says I'm not special to anybody. That's never.
And even if he want us to be, even if he want that man wanted to be just poised and nice and want to look good in front of the camera, right? Say oh, I didn't say I was special. What you talking about? Say it with a degree of confidence. It's how you say it, man. It's how you say it, not what you say. Literally, what is the difference between? Pay attention to this, guys. What is the difference between? Hold up.
That was. But you're trying to say, well, what makes me different? I never said I was. But you're trying to say, well, what makes me different from like a lot of women operate the way you do?
What is the difference between that and say special? You think I'm special? You think I'm special? I just woke up and took a fat ass dump. I know that nigga did that too. What you mean? I ain't shit, girl. What you talking about? The difference between that versus how he answered it makes all the difference. One way it gets to the crack up, and then all of a sudden, what did that do? And honestly, if I was in his shoes, right, and Myron, trying to help you out here, if I was in your shoes, I would have told a joke because what's happening here behind the scenes is tension is building up. And the more you can diffuse that tension, which is through laughter, the release of energy, right? The more you can diffuse that, the more in control you can have, not only the surrounding, but the people who can start to see your or come to see your ideas or argument. Because guess what? Comedy is the window to somebody's soul. If you can make them laugh, they will fuck with you. That's just what it is. And they'll remember it because you're making them feel good. And that's a rare thing to come by for a lot of people these days. You see what I'm saying? So these are different skills that you guys got to start paying attention to the next time you guys are in a group, the next time you're in a social setting, or even if you're dealing with a boss babe who's coming at you with this kind of energy. You learn how to take it, redirect it, and feed it back to her where it just makes sense and everybody's still flowing. Guys, I'm dropping game. Dean is dropping game. Class is in session. Great Bill Podcast, shout out to you. Thank you for the $10 super chat. I appreciate you, brother. Duke and Don plus a mindset and from now form Voltron. Angela, shout out to you, brother. Go ahead, Dean.
No, I was just saying real quick, she ain't got time for jokes because she's saying if you talking all that shit about me, now be about that shit. Don't be about that shit when I'm not around. Have that same fucking energy you had when your ass has been talking all that shit. Now I'm in front of you. Now boss the fuck up.
There you go. There you
Come
go.
on,
Let's
man.
continue, guys. This is crazy.
And how do I operate?
In general, what I just said before, women, it's a dance between the two genders.
Oh, God.
Men are trying to get sex. Women are trying to get resources, time, attention, whatever it is.
Stop. Deflection. She didn't ask you to tell her a story about generalizing women. She asked you to tell you about me. And he doesn't even have a fucking answer. And he's trying to go off of this women. Okay, here's the thing I hate about motherfuckers that generalize shit. Has he fucked every woman in the world to make that fucking statement? No, goddammit.
No.
You make that statement. But that's not the point. You're deflecting. You're not. She doesn't want to hear about other women and what you think about other women. She want to hear what the fuck you've been saying all that talk. You popping your gums.
Talk like that same talk. Guys, get the lights up. Get the likes up. Y'all
Shit.
talking about, oh, play more of the video. Get the likes up. What you mean? What do you think we're doing here? We're playing the video. Get the likes up. You want to play more of it? Get the likes up. There's almost 180 y'all watching, and y'all going to give me 60 likes. Come on, man. Let's get the likes up. Don't sit there and ask me to play the video if you're not going to get the likes up. All right? This is a show so y'all can enjoy. So y'all need to equally chip in and go ahead and hit that like button. I'm not asking y'all for money. You don't have to donate. Just hit my likes, bro. Go ahead, Dean.
I just want to say two in the chat. Two callers. We got 2 callers whenever you want to take those.
2 callers. Oh, we can wait a little bit till we cover at least most of this.
No doubt.
Go ahead.
Oh no. Oh, take the caller.
No. I thought you had something to say.
Oh no. I'm just saying. Guys. Just y'all just keep focus on the deflection. That's all I want to say. Go ahead and hit that button, brother.
Perfect.
Is that they're looking for, and a lot of girls play the game better than guys. We talk about this openly on our podcast, and we're teaching guys how to not necessarily get finesse and get what they want out of girls, which a lot of the times is intimacy, but they're not able to get it. But girls are easily able to obtain money, time, resource, attention, whatever it is. Girls are running laps around dudes, which is why podcasts like ours exist.
I can't believe you're saying that shit.
Wow.
Yeah, I can't believe
why you saying that to a girl, bro? Like, why are you saying that to her?
It's like you want her to not only validate you, it's like he wants her to say it's like he wants her to get up out of her chair, walk all the way around and put her arm around him and say, "Oh, I'm sorry for women running over you bitch-made motherfuckers. I'm sorry for women smelling that your pussy is tighter than mine and that we walk all over you because you for the street, motherfucker, because the bitches are walking all over your motherfucking ass." Fuck is that about, D?
I've been telling you, man. There's no assertive tone in his voice or even in his answer. There is zero conviction in his talk. So, like, literally, even when he's talking about, oh, we help all men with dating and stuff like that, I don't even believe what's coming out your mouth, bro. Fresh don't believe what's coming out your mouth right now. You don't even believe what's coming out your mouth right now. Hey, if y'all want to do the call in, we need 100 likes minimum. All right, but listen, you're not confident.
D, he ain't moving. He's mannequin.
Yo, we're 2 minutes into this conversation, this clip, and this is a clip. We don't know what happened before this. He still got his hands together.
Mannequin.
This man is scared straight. Holy shit! He's like a statue, bro. Oh shit! Oh, Fresh, bro. I'm so sorry. But you're gonna continue.
Do you believe that Brittany has been effective in extracting, as you say, time, resources, and other things out of dudes?
Yeah,
to a degree, sure. Yeah, I mean, like a lot of girls want to do. I mean,
wait. Hands up again, Koba. Wait, to a degree, everything you've been talking about is past a degree. What do you mean to a degree? He backing the fuck off, D. Look at him.
It's backpedaling. Even DJ Academics. He's like, okay, come on now. I already know what y'all about. I already know what y'all about. Come on, Myron. Don't lie to me, Myron. Don't lie to me, bro. I already know what y'all about. I already know what y'all about. But backpedaling again. You guys, when they tell you to stand on your square, stand on your word, and you're seeing this, what are we talking about here? Like stand on your fucking word. Like that's how I know these guys don't understand conversational dynamics, man, because this person doesn't even know how to redirect that energy is being tossed at him. And you guys notice he's not making eye contact. His tone of voice, you notice his tone of voice is actually remarkably low. You notice that? Hold up, let me just make sure I'm not tripping. I'm gonna turn the volume all the way up. But it seems to me his tone of voice is incredibly low right now.
Going lower and lower.
And it goes lower and lower. So I don't know what that's basically signifying, but if we're going from the baseline Myron to this Myron,
Koba,
I would say they're two different people.
And
what y'all will start to notice is that just like y'all are picking up some of this nonverbal cues, she's also going to start picking up on that tone, because interpersonal conversations, like I said, it's with your body. You see how they're physically transferring that same kind of obligation back and forth. You can also see how the tone of voice is going to start to play an effect. All right. All this stuff stringed together equals understanding your dynamic. And not your dynamic, your environment. That's what it is. So you guys got to understand when these guys are talking about dating and all this stuff, and they're giving you all these templates that you can find on any other YouTube platform or like how-to guides online. You got to understand they don't have this shit because this comes from experience in dealing with people. I'm sure Brittany Renner, maybe she's that crazy enough to have this knowledge on a conscious level to consciously know what they're doing. And there are a few people out there that know how to direct shit like that. I suspect that that's her. But there are people out there who subconsciously know how to move a situation socially
real
and
quick,
come out on top. Go ahead.
Yeah, real quick. Okay, what a lot of guys don't understand is think about the game that she ran on the truck. That she ran game on him. She sees the same in that motherfucker across from her D. That's why she get more confident. It's building up. She close to the table. Her shoulders are starting to pop up a little bit more.
Look,
more and more confident.
She's copying fresh now. That's how confident she is. Back straight. All of a sudden, boom. She senses you're on the defense. Now she's on the offense. She's like, fuck it. I'm taking his shit. Now fresh is fresh. She's like, oh shit. What? Oh, I'm not doing this no more. Is she doing this? Watch. And what you guys will notice how everyone else subconsciously copies that same behavior. Let me back it up a little bit so you watch when that body language change.
Restore attention, whatever it is. Girls are running laps around dudes, which is why podcasts like ours exist.
Do you believe that Brittany has been effective in
she just locked it up,
as you say, time, resources, and other things out of dudes?
Yeah, to a degree, sure. Yeah, I mean, like a lot of girls want to do. I mean, here's the thing: you've been so adamant about me being incorrect, and I don't know, and you don't know me, and all this other stuff. Tell me then. Maybe we're off. Who knows?
Whoa!
Deflected back. You guys see how he tossed it right back? All right. Okay. She tried to toss it at him. He was feeling the heat. He took over to diffuse it, which is called being a good host. All right. He then rephrases the question, asks him, and then he does the same thing he did in the beginning. Here you go. Hey, your turn. You tell me what I said about you. But you know what you said.
He never said when he was talking shit about her on the show that we're off. Maybe we're a little off. No. He's spoken absolute. Everything he was talking about absolute. So why is all this? I don't know. No.
This is not a confident Myron. They're like, real talk. I'm gonna just lay it out there, bro. Like, honestly, I'm actually kind of sad, bro. Like, I'm sad to see this for you, Myron. But like, you do not seem. Hold up. You do not seem confident at all in this situation. At all. Like, you're deflecting back, guys. I'm used to watching you when a girl. Do not interrupt me. Do not interrupt me. You're being rude. I mean, it's a neutral platform. It's not like it's her platform. It's a neutral platform. He asked you the question. She asked you the question. So you know how you would have handled when she tried to restate that second question in the middle of your deflection? I'd have been like, whoa. You asked me a question, right? You asked me a question. So I'm trying to answer my question, but you're interrupting me. So that's how you take that power back, and she shush.
Don't
and let you make your point. But you didn't, because this Myron over here is not a confident Myron. This is just not.
He's not special, he said.
So let's continue.
You've been so adamant about me being incorrect, and I don't know, and you don't know me, and all this other stuff. Tell me then. Maybe we're off. Who knows?
Well, I think first of all, let's bring it back a couple notches.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So there's really a lot to unpack here, because my first question to you is, what do you gain from telling girls that they're not special? How does that make you feel? I mean, I know everything is a joke, but I'm asking you a real question. So how does it make you feel? Because if I say you're a bitch ass nigga, that does something for me.
I'm so good. Myron, where is Myron, bro? I don't know where this dude went. All right, time out. She just said 2 trigger words that I know for a fact they got merch on right now. She said the Feel World. And ding. How many times do they, hey, where Discount Drake? No, Discount Terrence Howard. Where is Discount Terry Howard? Because somebody always says merch when a woman on his podcast says I feel, right? And she basically loved the question. And I don't even actually agree with Brittany Renner here. I'm like, well, what do you mean? How does that make you feel saying women are not special? What kind of fucking dumb question is that? How to make you feel? I sleep at night and I eat good in the morning. Shit, I flew over here and I'm feeling pretty good. Why not? Like, what kind of question is that? So, and this is stuff that Myron wasn't shooken up. He would have like, you see what I'm saying? But like, what happened? What happened to the? Because here's the thing. When she would throw that question at me, and I'm Myron, I'm like, I'm you, Myron. I'm doing a better job right now. But so learn from me, all right? So if she would have said, what back and forth and tossing that, I'm like, wait, I feel like, what do you mean? I feel like merch. Fresh over there would have gotten this one in merch, and they'd have been like, oh, that'd have thrown her off her game. Like, what do you mean merch? Like, what's that, right? That diffuses the tension, and then you can regain control. Oh, it's something we say because when people talk from feelings, right? Feelings and logic. My decision to say what I'm saying when women aren't special is a logical decision. All right, women aren't special because we're all people, and women, they have different privileges, whatever stat you want to use. Take, restate, and deliver. This is conversational dynamics, but you didn't do that. So when she was saying, I feel like, how do you feel when you say to a woman that she's not special? Merch. You should have brought discount. You should have brought Discount Terrence Howard instead of Fresh. He'd have backed you up.
I think this was a test, D, because when she asked how you felt and he was real about the game, he should have said, fuck your feelings. I don't give a fuck what you feel. I don't feel shit. The fuck you talking about? See, hey, but he didn't do that.
Derek Mitchell. Hey, everyone in this chat already knows that Fresh and Fit surprised Myron with Brittany on the podcast. That's literally the first thing I brought up. See, those of you guys who come into this chat not understanding context and you was looking for somebody to hate, we're not hating on Fresh and Fit. We're literally breaking everything down. That was the first. Hey, put it in one in the chat if you were here since we started. Put it one in the chat when you guys heard me say that I explained the whole back end of the Myron being surprised of this interview. Put it one in the chat if you heard me say that. Because I'm providing context here. So it just shows how disingenuous and foolhardy some of y'all are. Pay attention, or I don't know what else to tell you. Go watch another show or something like that. Like, I literally broke it down. I'm being fair. Like, fuck that shit. Go ahead, D.
This is how fucked up they are. This is how fucked up they are. It ain't about him being surprised, because a motherfucking man is never surprised when he's standing on what the fuck he believes in. There can never be anybody that can come along and just go ahead and challenge him, because when you stand on your motherfucking square instead of his fucking Tampax like he's been doing. But the worst part about the person that said that shit, nigga, why don't you listen to what the fuck we showing you versus the surprise? Your fucking leader just told you I'm not special. Your leader who's been telling you she ain't shit just told you, well, maybe I'm off a little bit.
And Santa's a fraud. He's a fraud. You're looking at him right here. He lied to you, motherfuckers. That's for sure. I'm sorry, but don't come in here acting all butthurt at me. I explained the context. I literally cannot make this man look any worse than he is. I am explaining what I see based off of my knowledge and experience in sales, all right? That means spending time and years sitting in front of thousands of people, literally thousands of people, selling them all kinds of shit, okay? So I understand how people behave. I understand what subconscious clues mean, and I also understand context, like the one I said at the start of the show. Rewind and go watch it, all right? But let's continue. It's just, I'm having fun. I am having fun. Oh, shit. Did I see 21 Studios up here? 21 Studios, shout out to you. I thought I saw.
Shout out to Andy.
Oh, there we go. Shout out to ADJ, baby. ADJ in the building. Shout out to you, brother. Shout out to you. Woo. Nixon Talks. Thank you for the $5 super chat. If he naturally has game or whatever, it shouldn't have been an issue. He should have been able to deal with it like a cold approaching. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, tell him, Nixon. Tell some of the guys who are trying to defend themselves. Listen, being confident meaning you can handle yourself in these social situations. It don't matter what scenario you're in. You already understand clues and things to pick up on so you can dominate and rephrase. Literally, conversation is just taking what you hear, framing it, and then restating your point. That's it. And then going back and forth. And you just keep going back and forth, doing the same thing while you're paying attention to the sub-context that's happening.
Yes.
Underneath the surface, you have to be subconsciously paying attention or consciously paying attention to it, right? So because most of you guys aren't subconsciously aware. So, or aware of your subconscious. So, you guys got to understand that. Pay attention to the subtleties, bruh. Because they'll show you what's really happening versus what's happening. That's why you guys can go to a bar, right? I don't know if you guys have seen that or not. Some of you guys, if you guys have done this, let me know, right? If you guys went to a bar, you see a guy who's talking to a girl, and you could tell he thinks he's doing this thing, he's macking, but the girl's like showing obvious cues like she's definitely not interested, but he clearly doesn't pick shit up, right? You could tell that he's bombing, but he doesn't know. What is the difference between you two? You are picking up on a subconscious cues that she's giving off, and he's not. This is the problem that's facing a lot of men when it comes to dealing with women. They don't understand subconscious cues. They don't understand that, right? They can't read the nuances of social situations. So when you don't understand that, you're going to be literally clueless when a girl's giving you signs versus when she's not. So this is very important because your leader is fucking up on these subconscious cues. So why are you getting mad at me for just calling it out? I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm being fair. And it shouldn't matter, like Nixon said anyways, because if he's actually good at talking to people, this should be natural for him. This should be a playful moment. I'm having fun. Oh, you gonna have fun to be light? Oh, shit, I guess we gonna have fun to be light. You set the tone, I set the tone. You take it up here, I take it up here.
See,
let's go. Let's feed back and forth.
Right, but see, what y'all
match
guys,
your energy. Go ahead.
Yeah, for all you fucking fake ass motherfucking lovers out there who love that motherfucker, you cuddle party motherfuckers, you don't understand. So you need to understand something. He ain't standing on anything, yo, you dumb motherfuckers. You got to get out of the forest and look at the truth. That's all we're showing you. We're breaking down a level of game that listen, they don't even teach you this kind of level game over there. They're too busy talking shit about women. And then when they get in front of a woman, they can't even defend the position of all this shit that they've been talking to the fucking woman right in front of them, man.
We just saying, keep the same energy, bro. That's all we're saying.
Motherfucking energy, man. Fuck.
Right? If I insult you or if I tell you you're not special, you're forgettable. What does that do for me? No, but that doesn't. But that's what I'm saying. No, but I'm saying, what if I call you? If I just say that again, you're forgettable. That's why I didn't want to do you guys' podcast.
If you guys know, and I'm gonna comment on this real quick, and we'll keep playing. But if you guys pay attention, her question to him makes no fucking sense. Like, it doesn't make no fucking sense. She doesn't even, I don't even think she knows what she's asking right now, okay? Like, don't get me wrong. She gets, but here's the thing that she does understand. She does understand that Myron is playing defensive right now, and she can sniff that. That's why she can ask this dumb question with a shit ton of conviction, because she has confidence now. The first thing, when she tried to flip it back on him and he backpedaled, she already realized, okay, I'm gonna restate, because if we pay attention to her question, I'm gonna it back and y'all listen to her question. It doesn't make any sense. How does it make you feel to say someone's not special? I mean, how does it make it? What does that have to do with anything? That doesn't. Deep. Is that your point? Is that your argument? No one is special, lady. No one. Okay, let's move on. What's the next topic? What else are we gonna talk about? Right. So the fact that Myron was so shook to not realize that what she was saying was nonsense goes to a testament of how much he was in his head already. How much he was not in it.
ID. Let me show you. It's very important what she said. Peep game. She has been controlling this whole thing. He is off his base. He's off his standard. He's freaking the fuck out. He doesn't know what to do next. So what she's trying to do is calm. Think about how mommy used to calm these little young ass little boys down when they were stressing. Let me get you some warm milk. Do you want a cookie? Do you want me to tuck you in? Do you want me to read you a nighttime story? Do you want mommy to give you a hug? So what she's doing is she knows that motherfucker's already losing, but now she's going into what I call mommy mode. She's trying to diffuse it a little bit to get him back on focus so she can tear him up a little bit more, because right now he's all over the place. Her right now, in my opinion, she's diffusing it a little bit to get him back on focus so she can tear him up some more, because he's all over the place right now. Now go back to what you're saying, because look how she was at first and look how fast the mommy change was. Like, well, tell me how you feel. Just like a psychiatrist does with a person on the thing. Well, tell me how you feel right now.
Because and you guys got to understand, because she subtly understands that, right? She doesn't know, like, I wouldn't say she doesn't know what she's saying, but like her question doesn't make any sense. But she understands like how she's manipulating attention in the room socially. So that's why she actually has this leg up right now. It's not what she's actually saying, because the question itself is stupid, but it's how she's manipulating attention in the room right now, because she's understanding where the dominance really lies and where the onus are related. She understands that Myron right now is shook sitting in front of her, because that's the thing. If Myron would have said, like, answered her straight up right when she asked the question firsthand without deflecting, she would have been different. Because look at how she behaved when DJ Academics flipped it on her, right? She was actually wilding out. She almost got the ball. She was freaking out in that interview, right? Because he had her. He had her to the point where she got emotional. So she's not that hard to get off her square. She's really not. But the thing is, she understands when she's a dominant person in the room, socially speaking. And that's what we're seeing here. So we gonna turn it back. Y'all gonna see that shift again, and then we'll keep rolling through.
All right,
a real question. So how does it make you feel? Because if I say you're a bitch ass nigga, that does something for me, right? If I insult you, or if I tell you you're not special, you're forgettable, what does that do for me? No, but that doesn't. But that's what I'm saying. No, but I'm saying, what if I call you? If I just say that again, you're forgettable. That's why I didn't want to do you guys' podcast. Forgettable. Hate the setup.
So at the end of whatever was supposed to be her statement about whatever Myron got wrong about her, the end result was you're forgettable. So I mean, now we switch from asking the question to insults. So hey, I'm telling you, if I was Myron, hey, shame and salt the field need to be right.
Hey, the hook is coming. She's sparring right now. Watch what the next thing she say. She about to come with that cross. Watch what she say next. Watch.
The name is underwhelming. I didn't really see the value in it. Right? That's how I feel. Right. But so that's fine. But for me, that's okay if it wasn't a fit for me. But I also don't need to, in a way kind of try to devalue.
Look at who's talking to you, bro. Why are you looking at the camera?
He looking at
what you guys have going on, because at the end of the day, I may not agree with anything you guys talk about, because honestly, I feel like when you've seen 2 or 3 videos, you've seen them all.
Stop.
That's kind of she's gotten speaking facts, man.
Dog. How many ways are you gonna say hypergamous nature? How many ways are you gonna say women ain't shit, man? How many millions or how many? Why? If y'all notice, every show is the fucking same, and you ain't learning shit. And she's telling them motherfuckers that shit is the same. After 3 shows, I'm done, because it's all the fucking same, D.
See, that's what I'm telling you. When you rely too much about on the aesthetics of how your show looks, on the set, on the women, and all these different things, right? Listen, it's all about the conversation and the content. As long as the content is dope and people can listen to it, well, guess what? All right, people will fuck with you. People will still listen. They don't even want to pay attention to what the fuck's going on. All right, hey, before podcasts were what do we call it? Visual? They also had audio, meaning people would sit down in the cars, driving, listening to it. And why would they listen to something like that for long periods of time? It's because they found that content entertaining to watch long term. But when you hear their stuff and you hear their show, there's like she was saying, there's only so many ways you can freaking say women are the problem. All right, there's only so many Rollo Tomasi books that you can goddamn freaking regurgitate before you got to go out in the real world and learn some new things, because that's where experience is found. It's not found in a book or in the fucking course. And clearly you realize the guys who are freaking writing these courses don't know what the hell they're talking about, because they're actively not displaying the skills that they're telling you that they have. They're selling you hundreds of dollars of skills that they're not using to their benefit right now to make even more money and capitalize off a mainstream situation. Make it make sense to me. Like, actually, this is just being a fair point. I'm being fair with them, because if I was in their shoes, like, all this is great. Like, this is perfect. Let me flip this shit on you. Everything that you're flipping on me, I'm going to throw right back on you using the exact same thing. All these talking points, right? What about sign language? Her rebuttal to y'all was basically just insulting y'all. She didn't really ask a clear question. She wasn't really even, especially in this particular dynamics. Now, to be fair, we're not talking about the whole clip, but in this clip that right here, DJ Academics dropped, all right? She's returned your question with a goddamn insult. You could have just flipped that back and said, hey, this is the kind of stuff we're talking about, Brittany Renner. The shame, insult need to be right? The guilt or need to be right. I just asked you, tell me about yourself for what you thought I got wrong, and you responded back with an insult. This is the kind of nonsense we're talking about that men go through every day. You got to be quick on your head. You have to be. This is how you dominate a social situation, because you're always thinking to outthink. You're listening, but you're always paying attention. It's not an easy skill because not everybody could do it, but the people who can do it are going to have the most successful lives. And that's what we're trying to say. That's just what it is. But let's continue. Or if you want to add something to that, Dean.
No, I'm just saying you can't learn what you just said by bitching about women. Continue.
You just can't.
The reality is that I went to your guys' page. And I went to the different links and the different services and the courses that you guys offer. And I do see that there's a place for that. So even though it may not have been in alignment with what I am about, I can still give credit where it's due without trying to devalue you guys, because you guys are doing something special.
I would have checked her. You just devalued us like 2 seconds ago. Like, are you crazy, woman? Like, what you're just talking? You just devalued us. Like, what do you see? They have every ample opportunity to win, but they're not paying attention. He's shook. He's shook right now, and this dude has nothing to say.
Everybody, take count. Who's doing all the talking, man?
I'm telling you,
she's doing all the fucking talking. They just sitting there with this. Okay. And
the thing is, this is the crazy thing, because she's not making any freaking sense right now. That's the thing. But the thing, this is what guys, this is how powerful a subconscious control is, right? This is how powerful it is, right? Because even though she's not making any sense, she knows how to work the tension in the room right now to make it feel like these guys are in the wrong. Like, when you're watching this clip, you feel like, oh damn, like, did they fuck up? Like, because Myron's voice is all low and he doesn't know what's going on, and he's not trying to clap back with them the stats and all the little facts that he likes to do, all this different stuff. So, like, what's going on? Yeah. Right? So that's the thing. So, I mean, you got to learn how to work a room. That's just what it is. There are tons of books out there that you can read, but the first thing you understand is, how do I work a room? Right?
Because you guys are, I mean, are there a lot of other people doing what you do? You could consider your guys' podcast special, right?
I think what she's mentioned is like the self-help portion for dudes, where you guys offer service.
Hey, the Winter Fox 10, that was just proof that they didn't know what she was talking about, because DJ Academics literally had to cut her off and restate her point 4 because she was getting off topic. So you got to pay it. Hey, I'm glad you're thinking. I'm glad you're paying attention, but we got to get you thinking beyond what you're thinking right now. All right, you got to do it. You got to do it. All right, because she doesn't know how to frame what she's trying to convey. All right, even though she's outwardly like being calm, she's obviously flustered. And you can tell she's flustered. So I can see, and I can listen. Any person who was good at social dynamics could have seen through that shit right away. I'm like, okay, this is a front. This is a front, right? All this acting and dancing, it's a front. Let me come at you the way you come at you, and let me step to that bluff and see how you really act, right? But Myron is not being assertive to really step to her and call her on the bluff. So no one's really catching the fact that she's really not in control of what's happening right now. All right. So he had to restate the question so then they can pretty much digest it, and at least I can pretty much understand what the fuck she's saying. Let's continue.
To help guys either attract or try to talk to women and really engage with them at a higher rate that you could potentially date them, right?
Yeah
I guess the point that I think she's disagreeing with, right, when
I'm simply asking her to tell us about herself because we were so incorrect. So tell us about yourself. That's all I'm saying. And then she went into attacking us. And
no one's attacking you, because like I said, listen, there's a lot of people that will not sit down and have a conversation with you just because.
He said that with zero conviction, bro. Wait. She literally attacked him, and he's like, well, wait.
So when someone picks on you and you're now all of a sudden, you want to be the bully. He was attacking her first. She said, I don't know you. I never knew you. You attacked me. Where is all this? Now she's attacking me type shit. Where's that coming from, B?
Yeah. No, it's revert back to the victim
He's
mindset.
the victim now.
We can't have it. We can't have it.
Because of the comments that you guys made, well, you made, and well, you chimed in. So you guys are Tweedledee and Tweedledum kind of, right? So I'm here to have a conversation with you guys.
Hey, stop. If a woman said that shit, why the fuck are they what is so fucking funny about that disrespectful shit? Bitch, what the fuck you talking to like that?
It's tension diffusing. Yep.
Right, but look at them. They accepted their Tweedledee and Tweedledum. They're not even defending their position. Look at them. And
not even so much as defending, but even redirecting that. What I would have done, especially with Fresh, right? I would have actually played into that. Tweedledee and Tweedledum, right? Oh, I'd have been
butthead and shit.
Hey, come here. Oh, shit, we're Tweedledee and Tweedledum, right? Because I want you to pay attention. Pay attention to the difference between how when they confronted Malik Shabazz and what's his name? Farah, right? On that live stream.
Clown mask and shit.
Right? He was no problem doing all that, but then as a female, you got a problem, pulling that same energy, right? Where that clown mask at? Where all that at? Right? You literally Tweedledee Tweedledum instead of laughing, just like ha ha ha. And to be fair, right? I think they were just kind of laughing at the fact of, oh well, I'm gonna plead to the audience and cameras, like she just went back to the insult, like I just said, right? Look at her, ha ha ha. She's laughing at us, right? But you gotta understand when the difference between when someone's laughing at you and when someone's laughing with you. All right. Right here, people laughing at you. You just called yourself Tweedledee and Tweedledum. All right, it's fine. But I would have played on it and flipped it right back on her. This is how you keep control of the energy in the room. But as we continue, tension is building. Let's continue.
Hey, turn it up. We can't hear it. It's down, low.
Say what?
You turn it up. It's low. It was low. We couldn't hear it.
Oh, snap. Boom, there we go.
Okay.
You guys, or to call you out of your name, or to disrespect what anybody's doing, because I felt like the interview I had with him, there were things that he said I didn't agree with, but I wanted to sit down and hear his point of view. So that's what I'm trying to do here. So for you to say you're not special, well, I'm special to someone, just like you're special to someone, just like he's special to someone. So for you trying to generalize all groups of women, then we would have to take it back to where this even began. Like why you even have this view of women. And like I said, you have
that's a fair point. That is a fair point.
Bunch of dumbass bitches on your guys' podcast, and I get it, they don't challenge you, and I know you're a really smart guy, but it's like I feel like you need to kind of just be honest and show people who you really are.
And this is where I think that Brittany Renner is completely delusional, because they are showing you who they really are. They're actually being honest in front of you right now. Brittany, literally, they are being 100% honest. They have zero control of this situation right now. They're honest about that. All right, you gotta be just aware of that. All right. So when you asking him to be honest, come on now, we already know. So listen. When she's talking about this whole special thing, and I feel this and that, literally, Myron. Merch. What happened to all that? Merch. I feel like merch, right? Take control of the situation, right? Redirect. Throw it right back at her. Okay, you may be special to someone, baby, but like when you go out here in the real world, like I'm going to tell you how other dudes look at it. You're just a broad. That is what it is. I can't do anything else about it. That's just who you are. You're special to somebody else, but you ain't special to me. You ain't special to dudes who are high value. Then go into your little high value spiel, right?
Yeah, the Romo knowledge. That
I'm just saying, and I got to restate because we got some special stands in the building right now. And, listen, obviously we're not going to react to the whole podcast. We are reacting to the clip. All right. But the clip version has a lot of goddamn truths.
So many nuggets.
You can't deny in these interactions that we have to cover. So in real time, we are looking at the context. I don't give a fuck about the overall podcast. We're looking at the content of this particular dynamic that was uploaded and how that back and forth went, and we're analyzing this on its own.
That's it.
All right, if the full podcast will release, we'll break that down too, and different elements of that. All right, but enjoy the context in which we are providing. All right, hey, we got callers. We're gonna do this a little bit left, and then we'll go ahead and
we get some callers. Yeah.
Let's start queuing them up.
All right, queuing callers.
We won't go through this whole thing, but yeah.
Like, I know that for people to be dragging you guys and say, take this little clip and say that's who you are, that's not true. So that's why I sat down and had this conversation. I'm not here to degrade you.
You just did, like, not that long ago. So
yes,
I mean,
when you make I'm saying when you make comments like, oh yeah, no women are special. So no woman is special, but yet you guys have a whole podcast dedicated how to get women just for sex. That's all you guys are. So you're saying men are just limited to just sex. That's all they care about is sex.
Watch the framing, how she framed it. All right. She was trying to trap him, right? Oh, we're like, that's how you guys, all men are framing it. Just sex, right? No, right? Because now you're changing the original concept was being special, right? And now you turn it to the men and all the men want is sex. All right. So if by definition, so are you thinking that sex is special? Like what are you trying? What point are you trying to make, Brittany? It seems like she's getting flustered, trying to get it. But hey, I understand. She's making some certain points here, and I understand where she's going. But right now, let's pay attention to what's happening without the verbiages, right? Look at this big grin on his face. All right. You see the smirk, guys? You see the smirk? We are being trolled right now. Did y'all see it? Hey, Donnie boy, he's probably gonna do a reaction to this. All right, he's gonna say, guys, you guys were obviously crazy. Okay, did you see this? Did you see this right here? All right, Myron was totally in control this entire time. You guys obviously didn't know what was going on. No, this guy has a big dumb grin on his face because he's trying to listen. It's like he's trying to figure out a witty comeback to how to overcome this, and he's completely missing all the missteps here. Like, he's not, like, actively picking her apart. Like, why are you playing docile on a neutral platform in which you fuck with him more than she fucks with him? So what are we doing here? Why aren't you taking more charge and utilizing your leverage, your high-value leverage, to your advantage?
Yes or no? That's all you guys care about. There's no emotional need. It's just my dick, cum, sex. I want a hole.
Wow, you're triggered, man. Wow.
I think also
she wanted a whole rant there.
Okay, now that was a deflection, and it was the wrong context to use it in, but I applaud him at least trying something, all right? But saying you're triggered when her mood is now getting serious publicly, when people look at that, especially women, because you guys are mainstream now, okay? You got to pay attention to that. They will just look at how a woman verbally and physically basically expressed to you how she was feeling, right? And you basically counteract that to saying she was triggered. In a court of public opinion, especially mainstream, looking at majority women, they're gonna see this as, oh, okay, you're gaslighting, right? You're telling me I'm triggered after I just explained to you what I'm feeling right now, versus taking what she just said, deconstructing it, and then flipping it back to her and then letting her know why this looks ridiculous, right? It's the difference between when your girl's wilding out and literally you ask her, like, girl, how old are you? Like, why are you doing this? Right? In the most straightforward way, first, to realize that she's wild now versus getting involved, getting heated with her and going tit for tat, because now you just went down to her level versus her making realize, hey, instead of you yelling, thinking that you up here, you're actually down here because you're acting like a child right now. Two different ways of handling one situation. Two different ways. Dean, I think you're muted.
Honestly, it's just I speak with conviction. Yeah, I mean, for you to say girls like me, I'm just like, okay, well, I'm assuming if I go off of what people have said about me, I'm a gold digger who finessed my boyfriend who I lived with and wanted to marry me and still would want to have more kids with me if I wanted to stay with him. I finessed him, and I guess I'm a gold digger. And so all girls like
let's bring this back full circle, because you're speaking with a lot of emotion right now, and to be honest, you're not really making a point. I said at the top, men and women, it's a delicate dance between two genders to get.
Okay. restating what you said, but that's pretty much the whole convo there, right? Got the palms off and everything, and he's got all that. Oh, where did Dean go? Oh, Dean, you got to come back. But he got his palms out and everything. Oh, listen, all right, you're being emotional here, which obviously, okay, right? There was some level of understanding to that, but the way you leverage it in that particular conversation, that dynamic right there, you could have made it more fun. Right, that's the thing, Myron. You got to showcase a range, bro. Yeah, that's the thing that makes your podcast stale. You got to focus on a range, all right. You got to show a different range of personality, all right. Right now, you look like a dried brick. Okay, it is what it is. You're out here lobbing dried bricks. So while Steve is working on the call lines right now, let's go ahead. If you guys got like questions or anything like that, let me know while we're going ahead and set this up. But we're gonna get the link put out there and get it going. Let's have a conversation about this. Let's do it. Because like it obviously wasn't the full clip, and maybe the full clip, or the full podcast would tell a different story. But what we're basically witnessing is the social interaction, the interpersonal dynamic that we've been talking about, to tell if somebody really has game or who doesn't really have game. That's basically what it is. Right, that's what we're talking about. So if you guys are able to witness this here and you're able to see guys who understand it, break that down efficiently for you guys, so you guys can take those lessons into your own life. There you go. What's the problem? We ready for the calls. We good.
Yeah, we are. Hold on a second. We're having a little technical difficulty. We're trying to see what's going on. It's something's going on. I think see what's going on. Hold on 2 seconds.
No worries. I
probably got to reboot. I got to probably reboot. It was up for a second.
What we'll do. I'll get the StreamYard link going, and then once we get that call link, we'll trim that. All right. So I'm gonna get the StreamYard link in here. All right, and then you guys see the StreamYard link. Go ahead and click in. All right. Get this going. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and pin that, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, I'm trying to reboot everything while we're doing that.
If you guys got any questions, any ideas, anything that the Fresh and Fit podcast crew could have done better, let's hear it. All right, link has been pinned. Let's file in, fellas. There we go.
All right, let me see here. I think I'm back again. Let me see.
Yeah, but this was a very interesting situation, man. I feel you. Winter Fox 10, you said, dude, bro, I just said that her argument isn't about his intention of belittling women. No, her argument was first of all, the whole conversation was why she thought this whole special thing, right? That was the whole thing. That was the whole thing, right? And she kind of took it away from that special argument to then started attacking him. All right, and you lost me there. And to me, it's like, okay, you don't know what they're talking about. You're not answering the question directly. And to be fair, Myron called him on it. So when DJ Academics had to restate her damn point, that's her. You know what I'm saying? That's her. So I mean, I can't. y'all are crazy in this chat, bro. You guys are crazy. Christian, welcome to the stream, brother. How you doing?
Hey, what's up, guys? What's up, Steve? How you guys been today?
What's up?
Doing good, brother. We doing good. Shout out to you.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. It's been like a crazy wild last night. You have no idea, but
hey, we gonna come at it. We got a video Tuesday, Friday.
That
tomorrow.
I know.
Hey, you guys want to? Hey, you guys definitely don't want to miss this. All right, listen, our dukendon almost got taken down, guys. Like I'm telling you, they out here in full force, these goddamn stands, bro. And I'm telling you, they're more perverted and sicker than ever. All right, and guess what? One thing that is important has been confirmed. Okay, they all have little dicks. So just keep that in mind because we about to cover a lot. And listen, when y'all come for dukendon, I'm gonna tell you this. All right, I'm gonna tell you this. So you gotta understand because some of y'all think that we're like some of these other platforms over here that would just keep it to the creators and the audience are off limits. No. We gonna come at you too. All right, we gonna come at all of
Hey,
y'all.
D, I'm gonna jump
Y'all are
off this
ridiculous.
one, and I'm gonna jump off this one. You bring the other one in.
Boom, got you already.
There we go.
Look at that. But boom. All right. So, Christian,
Yeah.
what do you got for us, man? What are your thoughts?
No, it's just basically like a huge lesson learned that you can't really take these two bozos seriously. Like, by the way their frame is, like you claim that you're alpha, basically you're trying to do everything you can to help men and actually educate people on like how to avoid like the Brittany Renner of life. Yeah, you won't even say the exact same stuff to her face, saying you're a baby trapper or like you've been like going around from dick to tail. Stated in your book that you admittedly stated, you won't even bring up that during your podcast where you guys were around. Why don't you guys actually stay stacked up on that? You know what I mean? And I still, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I'm excusing myself out of the situation because I still have my issues with like debates as well and how to actually present. So I still have those same issues that they have too. But why don't they have those same issues that they have to present once they're already on the table if they're talking all that mess?
No, that's facts. Because listen, if you're able to write a book on this, right? I'm assuming you have the skill set to be able to do that and break everything down. So if you are then missing your own cues in live in a situation, because here's the thing in sales, man, the one thing they tell you is, and I tell my sales guys all the time, right? Listen, you can learn all you need to learn in this script, in this book, in this course, whatever it is, but it's not going to compare until you go out into the real world and get out in the sales phone and get tested. That's it. That's when you really know where your skill set lies, because customers are variables. They're going to throw different dynamics at you. You'll have a customer that, maybe he or she plays out exactly the way your sales course intended, right? Or you'll get a you get a customer who's way out of proportion, way out of context. But you'll get, the fact of the matter is, you get people from all over the place. That's what it is. And you got to be able to adapt. And that's the key thing these guys aren't teaching you. They're not teaching you guys how to adapt in these social situations. They're telling you if X happens, then you got to do a Y. If Y happens, then you got to do Z. And if Z happens, well, shit, I don't fucking know, right? No, you got to be able to adapt. And sometimes
they notice there's always an air raid going on when like people to people. And it's happened to me when I actually was working in private practice, and I still do as an office assistant while calling up patients, dealing with poisons, dealing with like prescriptions. You have people that are very concerned with the conditions that they have in regards to health. You have some that are like very calm and like very loose and goosey, and you have some that are just literally screaming and literally losing their minds over craziness, over some nonsense that actually goes on and act literally all dumb, as like impaired as they can be. Now you have a bunch of variables that have to be dealing with that you're not prepared for, and you have to literally stay calm at all times when you're dealing with these types of situations.
Yeah, lines are back up, brother. We good.
Oh, lines are back up. All right, let me get that phone number back up there. Let me get that phone number out there.
All right, lines are up.
All right, we're gonna paste this. All right, guys, look up for the call-in line.
Lines are up.
KS, shout out to you for the $5 super chat. He says, when a shepherd is blind, the sheep will have no sight. That's facts.
Man, it's facts.
That is absolute facts, man. That's what it is. Right, we got the blind leading the blind. So when we wonder why a bunch of guys are confused, a bunch of guys don't know what the hell is going on. They don't have direction. They're walking around here not knowing what's happening. Right, this is what we mean. This is exactly what we mean, because they're being led by dudes who don't really understand themselves in social situations, how to handle it. Right, not saying they don't have social skills, no, but they don't have the degree where it's convincing enough to let people know, okay, you can handle yourself even with A-tier type of women.
Yeah, we have a call. We have a call. We got a call.
Let's get it.
All right, area code 201. What's your question? What's your comment? What's up, brother?
Hello?
Yes, what's up?
Hey, what's up? This is AM.
Okay,
shout out to you, brother. How you doing?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I'm doing all right, man. All right, man. This whole video is just a total example of when, the way Marlon's reacting in front of her and stuff, all these scaries and bullshit that they come up with. I'm not saying bullshit, but, this is what you think. But the reason he can't really stand on it is because it's built on like a weak foundation.
Mm-hmm.
It's not built on what he really experienced. You could tell he's just regurgitating shit he heard, regurgitating what other people heard. It's not, when you have something that's built on a strong foundation, you're gonna speak with conviction. You're gonna speak with confidence. Like, you don't need to be looking around with your hands moving, this, So this is just another example of exposing these guys who they are and shit.
Well, yeah. Well, if you really think about it, again, if you're gonna be a mentor to young men, whatever you say, you should know why. You should be able to stand on it, defend it, and express it with conviction. And the fact that he couldn't even express why he's talking shit to somebody, or even I've never in my life seen somebody say that I'm not special who's supposed to be teaching guys how to be special.
Right.
That's absolute facts, man. The thing is that whole special thing that they're talking about. Oh, go ahead, brother. My bad. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. The last comment, somebody said something about the blind. I just called in about the blind shepherd and the followers be blind or something like that. And that just goes to show you that a lot of these guys defending them, they can't see it. They can't see as much as exposed videos comes out, as much as you cover this. Anybody else who's making videos online, it's just like some of these guys will just never see it.
I want you guys to understand something. All right? All right? It's not, listen, yeah, maybe last year when we were first starting out, right, the roast went a little too hard. They went hard, bro. I was going in because, listen, I'm being me. This is what I do. You can ask anyone in my personal life, bro. As Primal, that's just how I am. I'm literally the same. I like the same way I'm on camera is the same way I'm off camera. Like my energy don't change. As then we talk offline, my energy don't change. I'm the same dude. So when I'm in any other situation, I trust myself to be consistent. That consistency and discipline that some people put in their fucking courses, but don't actually follow, right? Like these guys, and they especially hang around these guys, right? So that's what I'm telling you. If you really had that true thing that makes you special, it's the confidence. It's being able to be assertive. Those are certain aspects that makes a man, but also a different, a couple of important components, right? Your integrity and character. We're getting to the point right now where a lot of dudes aren't in a position where they can't even be trusted by their own word.
Yeah.
Think about that. When was the last time somebody ever trusted you? Someone, I won't even say a complete stranger, but someone you're trying to build a relationship with business-wise, and they were just able to trust you based off your own word. That doesn't happen nowadays because guys are wishy-washy back and forth. They don't know how to stand their own ground. So when you're trying to build business relationship and guys say, okay, now I want my shit right now, it's because they don't trust you.
Yeah, we got another call, brother.
Yeah, let's cycle through. Christian, you got anything else?
Anything else? I've had that same problem as well. Like early on when I it was like about years ago when I made the call with Steve one time about like getting girls or whatever it was for the area code. And I know I've been listening for like a long time, and I'm very grateful for all the game that you've built. But I got like a little bit nervous like early on going to YouTube stream because he asked a simple question like how long I've been there, and I was spooked at the time. I know he was like literally flabbergasted, like, oh, just say some. And that's why I'm like, in the back of my mind, hey, I gotta try and work a little bit better, like on my game, and actually try and get more conversational skills.
Let me ask this
in person, and that's what you really had to try and do now. It's like a continuous, like lifelong journey that you continually have to build, and not be like all show about it. But like, if you're able to actually do like, talk the talk, you gotta try and make sure you have to walk the walk as well, and try and work on that, and try to do the walk behind closed doors.
Let me ask you a question, Christian. Let me ask you a question. What do you think that like what skills right now, like if any, if you just being straightforward, like do you think that you need to work on socially, right? Like in terms of like dealing with people, like what contacts, like any question. I want to actually like literally. I just don't want to sit here and just like break this down in Fresh and Fit video. If y'all have any scenarios in your life that you've been with, right, whether it's with a woman or a business relationship or things like that, I've been there. I've done it. So y'all ask the question. Steve will let you know. Let this be a teaching moment so people can learn. Because like I'm gonna tell you this, like Dean was saying, like Christian was saying too as well. Like, listen, there's only so many things you can talk shit about. I know the roasts are just too damn good. I understand that, right? But that's last year. This year we're all about self-awareness. So you notice I'm not roasting them as hard because I don't really have any disdain for them. Like all this shit is just fun and games. But y'all taking it seriously. All right, cool. Let's actually levy some serious criticism. Doesn't mean I'm gonna be serious. I'm gonna be a joke because that's just what I am. I'm not gonna fucking sit there and be Mr. Tight Ass all day. I like to have fun. I don't take myself seriously. Neither should you, right? So that's what it is. So when I'm doing this now, the criticism is more like, hey, this is what they're doing and this is what you should do. I'm not necessarily telling them they're bad people, they're jokes. No, I mean, they are jokes, especially Fresh. But I'm not saying they're bad people. I'm just saying, okay, no, they are, Fresh and Fit are teaching you something. They're teaching you how not to be them by watching them. So, and we're here to basically clarify that so you guys can see. And honestly, I know for the fact y'all motherfuckers watch this video, so don't sit there and cap like you don't. Don't sit there and try to ignore the fact that, I know you guys watch it. Same with a couple of you other guys out there too as well. All right, so I know y'all watch it. So if you're watching this beautiful video, I want you to understand to take some of the steps that Dean and I have outlined here to basically improve your game as you're dealing with other people, because you're talking to guys here with actual experience. All right, so if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask that. So Christian, I'm gonna throw it right back at you because I had to go
All
off
right.
on a tangent. That's just how my mind works, right?
Got it.
What do you have anything socially wise that you're wanting to improve on that we could potentially help you with?
Well, anxiety is definitely one of them. I gotta try and work on the anxiety part. Number two, I gotta try and work on calming emotions down when angry, when dealing with a debate. Number three, I gotta try and work on some like hard, like soul cues that I just don't see behind the scenes. Cause you already know I'm autistic. I already have Asperger's. So I'm having trouble trying to see like all the subtle cues trying to like behind the scenes. Cause I'm mainly direct. But I have to try and find like another way to try and communicate with people so I could try and a better way to try and better understand them. So we had like a point of understanding rather than be bashing or roasting like all the other places. You have to be like a bridge in the gap, being diplomatic. Those are things I really
Let me ask you a question. How often do you people watch?
My people watch about every day. I try my best to actually get more myself out there and just lay off the TV. Try my best to actually try and limit myself to YouTube. You're basically
not the. I'm not talking about digitally. I'm talking about physically. Like you actually have to be out and about paying attention because TV is manufactured. You got to understand that people's mannerisms and how they behave on TV, it's going to be a little different. If anything, what you should be paying attention and take from TV is how to be witty, right? Especially from these rom-coms and Comedy Central type shows and shit like that, right? When they have those witty clapbacks back and forth. Pay attention to that, listen to that. That's got to help you at least develop an idea on how to basically, turn like a conversation and like that conversational flip we're talking about with Fresh and Fit, how they can have easily taken that, redirected it, and thrown it back. That's essentially what it is, right?
Yeah,
and
I make the move.
Dirty behavior. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I make the move to actually try to talk to people every day, like what I'm doing now about like normal routines, or even like go like about more, trying to do something for sports, trying to talk to people and try to listen to like nuances, subtle cues, and try to be as discreet as possible. So I try to like be more direct for like eye contact like every single day, so I get more comfortable.
See, dog, but peep game and 404, we bring in 1 second, but peep game tip, big dog. Okay, see, the thing is that your interpretations are a stem of the false beliefs that you see your false reality. And the problem is that you are stuck in what I call the judgments. Right now, you're too busy judging yourself versus trying to fix yourself. Okay. You're sitting around thinking that I'm not good enough. I need to do this. I need to do that. But the problem is, and I'm kind of pissed off what D was saying about the TV. See, the reason why a lot of people cling to the TV is because the TV is catered to women and emotions. So if somebody who is emotionally sound when you shouldn't be as a man, you're going to fall into the anger of somebody else's emotions, meaning that instead of you finding the core of you, you're trying to live somebody else's life. And that's what these guys are doing. They're regurgitating information, but they're trying to get you to be another one of them, because all that pill shit, I remember it was a movie written by a woman, directed by transsexuals. So that should tell you something about all that pill shit. But what you're seeing right now, I'm serious. But what you're seeing right now is that a lot of you guys, you're trying to fix yourself. But how can you fix the core of you when you're mimicking and regurgitating theory over real game? Think about that, young man.
Thank you. I've been doing like a lot of analyzing. I just gotta try and do more action. That's what I need to do, and that's on me. I'm
gonna give you some last minute game, bro. Like for as far as action, all right. We're related to is it who do you want to interact with the most? Do you want to build more relationships, like business wise? Do you want to get in terms of like the women aspect of it?
Basically,
which one do you want to focus on?
I wanted to do in order for me to thrive in like the real world, I have to literally get better at all.
Don't be vague with it. I'm asking you a specific question. So like if you right now, because I want to figure out how to tailor my what I'm going to tell you, right? Do you want to focus more in terms of like general relationships, like friendships and business relationship, or are you talking about one-on-one women? Because we're talking about one-on-one women. Okay, general. So you need to be out and about. Like you got to be out and about and being where people are. So, and the first thing I would say is literally just go up to someone. Doesn't matter if it's a boy or a girl. It is what it is, right? If you first of all, before you go up to them, all right, figure out what it is right off the bat, and it's got to come off the top of your head, right? And like look at them, analyze them, and say, okay, her boots. And to me, I usually go with the shoes, like because that's just my thing, right? And figure out how you want to approach it, and then go at it. Just go at it and say, hey, what's up? How you doing? right? I like the shoes or something like that. You go on with your business, all right? Or you don't even have to do that. If that's too much, right? Because that right there is a series of steps into one. Just go up and say, "What's up? How's the weather? What's up? How you doing? How's it going?" And then just go back and forth. Let it flow, right? And don't listen to respond. Like literally just be in the moment, right? And you'll sometimes when you're actually listening, like actively listening, like I tell you guys in the chat, like be active listeners. When you actively listen, you start to pick up certain things, right? You'll pick up how they're saying things. And while you're still making eye contact, what you also start to realize is that they're actually realizing that you're engaged in their conversation. And what you'll start to see is almost like their face changes up. It lights up a little bit because they're like, for the first time, someone's actually taking in what I'm saying. And like, you know, they're not just listening to respond. Because if you guys don't realize it, a lot of people can sense when other people are just they're not really hearing them, but they're there. You see what I'm saying? When there's not really a dynamic there, we see it with our friends, we see it with our family members, where somebody just talking and trying to convey how they feel, but the other person isn't really receiving that. If they were up to someone who's actively listening and showing interest, that's how you build part of that positive relationship and that stronger bond. Because you got to understand, people don't care about what you say, it's how you made them feel. And by actively listening, looking them in the eye, nodding your head, like actually, oh shit, that happened to you, oh tell me more, that's very interesting, dive deep into these subjects, right? Help them specify what it is, because people love to talk about themselves. They're gonna feel great. They're gonna leave that interaction forgetting completely what the hell y'all talked about, right? But they're always gonna remember how you made them feel. That dude Christian, listen to me. Yeah, he's a stand-up guy. Like, fuck. And that's general. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say something to you real quick, brother. Look, I know for a lot of you guys, and you see, dog, okay, right now you're feeling unworthy and you feel incapable of being yourself when you're around other people because you're worried about being judged. You're worried about being criticized. You're worried about being rejected. And these are the things that hold you back. And what I want you to understand, and I know for a lot of you guys that feel this way, you don't want the world to know what you are, you know, your Asperger's or, you know, whatever whatever's going on with you. You don't want them to know about that. But what I'm saying to you is this. I'm saying that right now, what I call this is you're in theater number one. And that theater number one is saying you just have no self-worth. But what I want you to realize is at the end of the day, you pick the time of the movie, you pick the tickets, and you pick where you sit, as well as the theater that you go into. So once you realize that you are in control of you, that's where the shift is going to happen. But it is not going to happen if you're staying in that theater being a victim, thinking the world is out to get you, or women are out to get you, or women are bad and all that other shit. You got to remember you're in control of you. And once you realize that, you'll get that shift, big dog.
Thank you so much. I bring the general up, because, you know, if you handle the general first, then the woman's going to come right after. You know what I mean? That's what it is.
All right, let's get to the next call. Shout out to you, Christian, man. Shout out to you. Welcome anytime, brother. All right, next caller.
Oh, yeah, next call. He hung up. 44, call back. He was about to bring you back in. I'll let you know. Yeah, call in. Oh, wait, we got another call right here. Area code 587. You just got you up. What's your question, brother? What's up? 587 going once. 587 going twice. All right.
How's it going?
Yeah, what's your question, brother? What's up?
Oh, you guys can hear me? Okay.
Loud and clear, buddy.
What's your question, man? What's up?
Oh, okay. I was just checking in. I saw your podcast in regards to Brittany Renner and Fresh and Fit. I don't take a lot of sides. I'm my own man. I own my own words. But, you know, the only problem I have is text and context. You know, taking things out of context is a big problem for me. So it is what it is. Everybody's got their own opinion.
What was taken out of context, sir? What was taken out of context?
The rest of what I'm hearing is good.
What was taken out of context? I don't understand. What was taken out of context?
Well, a lot of it was okay. So when I came in, it was when you guys were pretty much laughing and clowning, right? Like that's okay.
Clowning who? Clowning who?
Has their own.
Well, it's not
laughing, clowning who? I'm sorry, you kind of
right. Myron mostly.
Well,
Myron. Okay.
Fresh.
Well, no, it wasn't. Okay,
Fresh is kind of, you know.
Well, 587. This is the problem with a lot of guys that are weak as fuck. Y'all think we clowning. See, you think the world owes you to cuddle you and tell you everything's okay. The real motherfuckers don't give a fuck what you think, and they're gonna tell you what the fuck is. Right. So it wasn't clowning. We were just keeping it out.
Steve. So okay, we got the clowning piece. All right, continue.
That's fine. That's fine. I'm not gonna say you're not saying something, you know.
Okay, but what is your
no. So like you got the clowning because I want to address that too. So but go ahead.
No, listen.
What was that? It was it the clowning? Because you said. But here's the thing. You said out of context. So I want to know like out of like what do you mean out of context? So we were you came in to us clowning them, right? And that's what I always do. I'm not gonna stop clowning them, right? That's just what we do. But go ahead.
The question being asked. So Brittany did ask her question, but it was in a deflective kind of way,
right?
After him asking, right? Because she brought up the general thing about, I heard you guys were talking about me pretty much, right?
Right.
And you guys were, clowning or talking about me or whatever. And, I think you guys, took me in the wrong way or whatever it was. So he asked her, initially, he was the first one to ask the question out of the questions being asked back and forth. And then she was like, well, hold on. And then she kind of deflected and
well, yeah. So we broke that down too. So okay, I'm gonna clarify that point for you so the audience can make sure that we're clear because we're having a show here. So okay, what you're saying is when we were talking about initially when the first question DJ Academics lobbied to Myron, right? And then he said, well, I guess she's the one that said we got something wrong. So why don't you tell us what was wrong? And then she flipped that back on him for him the answer. You're saying that was when that was part of the. Did I get that clear?
Yeah.
By the way. Okay, and that's what you're saying that was also part of us taking Myron out of context, right?
Well, and you were breaking it, like frame by frame, so it didn't actually play out. But as you guys were going along, it was just a lot of laughing and mocking at Myron.
So I get the laughing, but that's you've already made that point, and I'm going to cover that. You've already made that point. I'm going to cover that, but the point here is context, right? You're saying we took him out of context. So far, laughing and then talking about how we broke down that initial question or how that was lobbied back and forth. What else? Because I'm about to respond to you, so I want to make sure that I got all that stuff.
Oh yeah, no, that's it.
All right, so two things.
Honestly, she what it was is I thing and watched the whole interview because it's
right. So let me cut it right here. All right. So it's not because I mentioned that point before. So it's not so much as watching the entire video because even within the entire video, within that conversation, there are multiple conversations that make the entire segments, right? So that's what it is. And each conversation is its own thing, and we can cover that in its own independence. All right. And we can look at it all as a whole, right? And it tells a different story, but each individual pieces make up a big part. So when we're covering a piece of it right here, all right, it's not necessarily taken out of context because we're talking about the interpersonal behavior. We're talking about the behavior of the being, right? Because that's when it comes to guys, when they're dealing with people. Hang on. When we're dealing with when it comes to guys, then they're dealing with people and they're trying to understand that social dynamics. A lot of guys don't get it. You got to understand, men are clueless. So when we're breaking down frame by frame on how literally to alpha a situation, right? And it's like almost like thinking about yourself in third person, because I say this all the time. It's like you're in third person watching yourself. This is why I tell every young guy when they're going to every interaction, think of yourself as a disembodied person watching yourself observe. How would you observe with that particular person? So what we're doing is basically being that disembodied voice. But the other thing you got to understand is we're running the show, bruh. Like, I got to be entertaining. And what I'm actually doing is I'm giving you examples on how to basically work a room. All right. You saw me throughout this whole live stream. I've changed my tonality. I've changed my voice. I've changed even the way I move my hand movements, right? All that are subtle cues that I'm actually doing to keep the show entertaining. Bro, we going for 2 hours. You see what I'm saying? I'm not going to go for 2 hours and be just mean and fresh and fit. You see what I'm saying? It just comes off weird. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, if you compare, and I'll be straight with you.
Right?
Let me be straight for you because you do have a point, right? I'm gonna be straight with you, right? If you want to go back, let's say when the first album versus album Preach versus Fresh and Fit things happened, right? If you want to talk about then, you may have had a point and you may have an argument there. But if we want to talk about 2022, like all this is like straight entertainment and like it's just straight educating the dude because what is it? Christian was right and Dean was right? There's only so much you can fucking say and tell them that Fresh and Fit are clowns and Fresh and Fit are dead. I get tired of that. I'm tired of that. Okay, they're clowns. So what? Now I'm gonna break down step by step what they're doing wrong so you guys can see. So I want to make sure that's. And by the way, me raising my voice, I'm just making my point. Right? I'm not actually pissed off. So, but I hope I've covered. I hope at least we're clear on that.
I grew up with the devil can't take my brother, right? You know that quote from Tupac.
Mm-hmm.
You know, how can the devil take my brother, right? It's close to me. So I take all my brothers. Listen, all you guys, I love the contribution for self-improvement of not just black men, but black men, because that's what we are. So, you know, this is my first time watching you on your channel. Yeah. You know, all respect, you know what I mean? So your contributions, I respect that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, 587.
So, you know, keep it up, you know?
Yeah, 587.
But I just saw that interview earlier on today. That's why I was like,
yeah, well, 587.
I feel you.
Yeah, 587.
Go ahead, Dean. Go ahead, Dean.
587. Let me say this to you. All right, just follow me on this. Just follow me for a second, okay? If I'm going around for months telling everybody 2 + 2 is 4, okay? Just follow me on this, right? Okay? And I'm talking about 4. All I'm doing is talking about 2 + 2 is 4. 4 is this and 4 is that. And 4 can't do this and 4 is ratchet and 4 is that, okay? And then I'm in front of 4. I'm in front of the thing that I'm talking about. And then when that thing is asking me to clarify what I'm saying to that person, and I can't really express myself, and only thing I can say out of all of it is that I'm not special, or maybe I've taken some of the things out of context, then that's what we're trying to get you a lot of people to see. See, a lot of people don't want to see what's in front of them because they don't want to accept the truth for what it is. We didn't make this up. We didn't put a hand behind his back and have him say, I'm not special. We didn't put a hand behind his back and make him say.
But did you see the whole thing though?
But okay, well, we're not talking about the whole thing. We're just talking about the segment. Well, all I'm doing is we're just talking about the segment. The whole thing doesn't matter. Okay, wait, hear me out. We're talking.
I get your point.
Right. So what I'm saying is that the reason why we're saying this is because there's a lot of young men out there right now, young big guy, that are getting this information and it's going to fuck their lives up like the PUAs 2 decades ago, my brother. They are going towards a false prophet that's going to get them in a relationship or a situation where they're going to get fucked over and they don't know how to navigate their lives. And that's why it's so important to me and D over here to let these young men know. Is that how it is
on the conditions there on the grounds? Like in America, I'm in Canada, right?
Well, yeah, no, it's like that in the world. It's the world. It's not just in America. Young boys don't know how to be men. They don't know what manhood is. And they think manhood has something to do with women. And the game will never be about women. But when you make it about women, what you're doing is you're trying to tell those guys a false narrative of something that is just fake.
You're taking away from being a man.
Right. So
community of manhood, you know what I mean?
Yeah, right. Yeah. So I'm just saying real quick, we're just critical of that because there are too many young boys right there. D and I's, our job is to pass the baton. But how can we pass the baton to a young boy when he's thinking more like a young girl?
That's fact. And also even us criticizing this, even me, hang on, let me just, can I just say one thing? Even
so, you know,
hold on.
Platforms and communication, internet was like nothing, right? So I'm glad that this is going on.
No, yeah, and let me say this. Even me criticizing them, and when we're breaking down frame by frame the body language and things like that, I'm actually doing it from experience. I've been in sales over 8 years. I've been in high ticket sales. I've been in like all different that would like literally you spend time sitting in front of thousands of people. All right, from the first time I got my feet wet, being a little greeny, right, to all of a sudden being a seasoned fucking shark. It's basically you deal with people and you get the experience, right? It's one of those things where there's an old saying, listen, you ain't seen it all until you meet people, right? Because you would always be surprised. When you think you've seen it all, then again, somebody's going to walk in and surprise you, right? So you're always going to be surprised. You start seeing different things. You start to understand like, oh, Like, there's some
Body
crazy shit that
language.
people would do, and then you got to read the body language to understand those patterns. All right, and then not even that. Here's the thing.
Right.
Also in sales, and I also teach my guys. I've been a trainer too as well. I've been a manager, and I tell guys, listen, all you got to do is figure out how to get the money out of their wallets into your pocket using your mouth. All right, and all you got to do is set the addendum and using conversational skills to perform that, because that's what it is. So you using nothing else without being physical, without doing anything else, you have to convince that person to put their money in their wallet, in your wallet. That's what you have to do. How are you going to do that? All right. It's like a big test of reality. And that's what I'm trying to show you. These guys put it on paper. They put it behind the books. Not saying that's wrong, because in school you study for tests and quizzes through a book. And what is a book? What is all this stuff, right? It's just structured, a group of, a bunch of facts and studies structured together in an easily digestible manner for people to comprehend, right? So that's basically what it is, but it still doesn't reflect the real world, because the real world can't be as easily structured. It can't be as easily put together and digestible. You have to be willing to adapt, because the one thing when you're going to meet when you're out there is shit always change. And so do people, and so do dynamics, like alpha and beta. And you got to learn when to play one and when to play a beta and when to be an alpha. There's certain dynamics, and all those different skills put together helps you maneuver. Go ahead.
It's weird now.
All right, well, we got
no, but I'm gonna let you know it's not taking them out of context. We're not hating them. There's legitimate actual criticism here. Like, I'm actually coming from experience, but I'm throwing comedy into it. All right, so they're like this is real talk. Like, if they were my sales pupils right now, I'd be getting their asses right in shape. Like, this is what I be doing with my pupils, like right now.
All right. Well, thank you, 587. We got another call and stuff, but great call, sir. Area code 646. What's your comment or question? What's up?
Hello?
Yes, sir. What's your question or comment?
Oh, no, I just wanted to comment on the situation. First of all, I want to give a shout out to Steve, because he's one of the realest in the game. And when you're giving men real information and when you're holding men accountable, men are not going to like that. So a lot of bitch-made ass niggas is going to run when they hear your message. But I just want to give a shout out to you. And you know what I'm saying? You don't do no sellout shit, because a lot of these niggas, they start complaining about women, they see get numbers, and then they start selling out. So I want to say that first.
Hey, whoa. Whatever you're doing right now, I can hear you clearly. Just stay right there.
Stay right there.
You sound like, hold on. You sound like you were like in my goddamn eardrums, bro. I'm sitting like, wow, hold up. I gotta take this out for a second.
Yeah, my brother, we can really hear you, brother.
All right. Say right there.
You can't hear me?
Well, you're kind of.
We can hear you, but you're like muffled.
You're real muffled.
You got like a Bluetooth on or something.
Roar.
Can you hear me now?
No, shake.
Yeah. Well, towards the yeah. That's a little better.
It's a little better.
No, I said I wanted to give a shout out to Steve, because he's one of the only guys holding men accountable and giving real information. And when you do that, a lot of men run from that type of method. So I want to give a shout out to him, because I noticed like the guys who complain about women, those guys are the ones who get the most numbers, because the world is filled with a lot of weak men, weak, insecure men who are resentful and who just want to complain instead of getting to work. So I just wanted to give a shout out to that.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, brother.
Appreciate that.
I also wanted to speak on the situation too. If you notice how Fresh Prince CEO, you know, he was inactive towards the whole situation, and that's a life lesson right there. Because when you go to imagine when you're going to war, you want to make sure that the men at your side are men who are capable
in the foxhole,
being able to pick up the slack.
Yes.
And the problem with Myron is that he's so insecure that he doesn't want to have a man who's strong around him, because it makes him feel inferior. When you're secure, you only hang around strong men. You don't tolerate bullshit. And Myron knows Fresh Prince CEO is bullshit, but he hangs around him to make himself feel better. He would never hang around a guy who's secure and who's strong, because if I'm sitting next to Myron, first of all, how is it that you can't say one special thing about yourself? That shows low self-esteem.
Wow.
But if I was sitting next to Myron, I would automatically...
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Some shots.
That's a good point.
I would have been able to shoot some shots for Myron, you know? But the fact that he's hanging around weak men... And then there's another thing, too. you have to understand when you have game and when you really live this life, when someone puts you in a spot, you can respond in a second. If somebody was to say, what makes you special, I can respond in a second. The reason why Myron got backed up is because these are things that he practiced and he regurgitated from another man.
Yes.
When you really live this life, it's not something that you have to practice. If somebody told me today what makes you special and things of that nature, I would answer 20 different ways, 20 different tonalities. I could tell it to you while flirting with you. I could tell it to you direct. I can tell it to you any different way. I don't have to. And you see, Myron was writing during the video. I don't know if y'all seen that, but he was writing during the video. First of all, why would you write? Like, how is it a struggle to the point where you got to write and you're debating with a woman? It's no disrespect to her, but this is a woman who she's famous from talking about guys she had sex with.
Yeah, like it's so, and that's the thing, that those things are so easy to call out. They're so easy to call out too. And if he was really confident, and that's the thing, I'm not saying that he doesn't have confidence in himself, and maybe it flows within him, you know, whatever it is. But if he was confident, he would have been like, hey, yo, wait, time out. All right, you are the one who's universally, I would have flipped it on her. You are universally known for basically taking PJ Washington's kids. If I want to be petted, I'd be petted too. Why you ain't letting PJ Washington see his kids? Let the brother see his kids, right? You know, change up your tone, learn how to like, you know, because the thing is, obviously, it's like the tension is building in a room. Obviously, we know what's going on because there's a confrontation happening. But you also got to learn how to maneuver and diffuse that thing so it makes sense and it's appealing, right? But the way he handled the whole situation, subtly, it didn't make you look like you came out the victor. Just saying. Right. And this is why guys have to understand this stuff, because a lot of communication isn't about verbal. And if you notice about these guys, a lot of this stuff is verbal to them. Right. That's why when Myron he has to verbally let you know he's a high value man. He has to verbally let you know he's over 6 feet tall. He has to verbally let you know that he makes over 6 figures, because that's how they know how to communicate. He talks about discovery terms disclosure all the time in Roll Tomasi's book, and doesn't know how to have a broad discovery that he's rich. He's got to go tell him. Fresh got to go. He's got to go tell him too. Fresh flies him out. Yeah, no, I'm rich. Look at my Instagram. Come on over here. Right? They're not following anything that they're saying. That's just.
It doesn't. It's sad. It's sad that the worst part about it is that people that are listening to them don't see it. That's the craziest thing in the world. They don't see it, and they don't see. They don't understand the difference between problematic, which women are because they're emotional, which they should be, and solution-based. A man is only solution-based. He's only solving shit. He's not going to say that, oh my God, he doesn't walk out of the house and say, oh, the squirrels are mean and the hypergamous nature of the leaf and the fucking birds, high value and all that. Men don't act that way. And men don't place that much of a value on women to talk about them. We walk away and bring the next one in. That's just how men are. But when you don't have game, and you don't have a sense of self, and you are trying to mimic and regurgitate and try to be somebody else, you're going away from your nature as a man, the core, the one thing that got you to the fucking egg, the one thing inside of you that said, fuck my brothers and sisters, I'm going to get to the goddamn egg. I'm not going to go on sperm tube or Instagram sperm or whatever. I'm going to not take any days off. I'm going to get to the goddamn egg. And see, they have it inside of them, but when you follow false prophets, all they're going to do is lead you towards the cult, and they don't understand they're being fucked over, man.
That's facts.
The thing about this woman also is this woman, like, this says a lot about the type of woman they also deal with, because this woman has a little bit of a brain on her. Like, you can tell she's smart to an extent. And when you're used to lying and manipulating women, you have to understand the thing about manipulation is you can only manipulate people who are dumber than you. You can never manipulate someone who is smarter than you or who at least has a brain, right?
And it's not necessarily if they're smarter than you. It's if they're more self-aware.
Yes.
If someone said it's a self-awareness, literally, listen, if someone isn't self-aware of themselves, listen, if you're not aware of themselves, and I'm more aware of how you're more likely to behave, based on how I say things or frame things. Oh yeah, I'm gonna manipulate you all freaking day because a different power dynamic right there. All right, but if you go up against someone who's also self-aware and can also understand how you frame things that can be potentially manipulative, and then can catch that and then redirect it back to you, and then you guys play this a subtle game back and forth. You see what I'm saying? That's when you know you're going into a mental spar. All right, and when the guy here's the thing: when people are watching that conversation, they are understanding that, and then left that conversation feeling like, yo, whoa. I can't tell. I can't put my finger on it, but that shit was crazy. I don't know how that went down, right? Because it's the back and forth, right? What's his name? Russell Brand. Russell Brand is a dude that comes around, right? He's that dude, a really eccentric dude that is very witty, comedic, goes back and forth, right? How he was on that one news show when he was going back and forth with that one lady who was like a straight square. At the end of it, bro, he had her weak in the knees. She probably was wet down there, live on TV, because of how he dealt with that, right? And if you watch that whole situation, you would see the kind of mental spar this dude dealt with all three of them on that stage, and how he redirected those energy, turned it sexual, and then had them girls literally feeling him after he was done with the show.
Yeah, and 646, if you think about it, it was 2-on-1, and people don't even realize that. It was really 2-on-1. And what happened was, and the shocking thing is a man should never, ever, even if he's fucking hurting, you don't fucking show nobody any pain. You don't fucking sit around and say, I'm not special. Listen what I'm saying. You never get around a woman and say some shit. Who the fuck will tell a woman, somebody that's insecure, somebody who hates herself? See, I could have told her why she wasn't special. Look at all that goddamn weave you have on. You hate yourself. That's what the fuck I would have said, is I would have stood on that shit. But you know what? Yeah. One thing I would never do, one thing Duke could never do, one thing a man will never do in front of a woman is show weakness. And you never tell a motherfucking woman that you ain't special, man. That just is mind-blowing.
That's facts.
Yeah, and I misspoke there. I didn't mean to say I'm smart. I meant to say misinformed, because that's the word I meant to say. When you can manipulate people who are either misinformed, and you can't manipulate people who are informed, right? So if I was to go to the gym and tell somebody, yo, you know that bicep curls also train your triceps, if it's a skinny dude who doesn't work out, he's going to probably believe it, right? Because of the fact that he's not informed. With Fresh and Fit, the reason why they can manipulate their whole audience is because these are guys who haven't lived life and they're too scared to talk to women. So if some guys,
but that's how we know. That's how we know that, though. That's exactly how we know that. We know that because like real people who've spent time in the real world would know that, okay, after some time, this is kind of bullshit, right? But the guys who gobble the stuff up are the kids, and they're flooding in here. I mean, you see some of these views and whatnot that come from kids because their worldview is shaped by that. Think about it. Yeah. Remember when you were growing up and you were watching Disney and you were like, oh shit, I thought real world really behaved like that. Well, kids today are growing up watching YouTube and thinking that's the real world. So imagine how Disney made you feel when you were a child, and now think about today's children are looking at these internet stars, these YouTube stars, and these lifestyle they're crafting as the real world. And when they get older, to about my age, to about your age, when you first realize that, oh shit, life was a lie, that's when there's gonna be a whole new wave of crazy, because then people are gonna realize, oh shit, getting money easy. Oh man, they definitely lied to me. This crypto thing that they were talking about. Oh, they definitely lied to me. All these different things, it's like Disney lies. It's gonna start crumbling in front of their eyes, and that's when you're gonna start seeing some devastating consequences. Because what these guys are doing, they're not selling reality. They're not selling change. They're selling hope. Yeah, it's hope. And and those of you guys who are day one riders, you already know how I feel about hope. I can't stand hope, because hope is for those who fail to plan. If you don't have a plan, that's what you do. You hope. And hope is nothing but an expectation, folks. And what do we know about expectations? Expectations always lead to disappointment. You can't control for that. You can't. Every time you expect something, you are running the risk that you will be disappointed. It's the exact same thing when someone hopes on something. If you hope, you're basically throwing the caution to the wind, throwing it up in the air and saying, oh, let's roll the dice, right? And then most likely you're going to be disappointed. This is what it is. So you got to be able to plan, and by planning, meaning you're consciously aware of the decisions you're making every single day because they matter.
Yeah, they're going towards a midlife crisis, and a lot of young boys don't understand this. A lot of young men that follow guys like this, they don't understand. You got to ask yourself the question, what are you teaching me? How are you teaching me to find myself? Are you teaching me how to navigate my life? Are you teaching me how to speak to myself so I know how to speak to a woman? What are you teaching me? And if it's nothing in which they're not teaching you, what they're teaching you is they're doing what the commercial ads are doing right now. They're riding off of your emotion. They know you're bad with women. They know you're upset. They know you hate your situation. So instead of forcing you to look in the mirror like a man would, they got you looking out of the goddamn window, laughing at women, saying women ain't shit and women at that. And y'all can laugh and key all you want, but you're going to get in the same situation he got his ass in when he got face to face with a real goddamn woman that he was talking shit about. And when you guys get in those situations, look, there is no Twix moment. You cannot freeze time and reverse the shit you're doing, because if she realizes your pussy is tighter than hers, she's going to the attack. They don't give a fuck. This is all about competition. It's about the strong survive and everybody else gets to be food. Got to think about that shit, man.
There you go. Hey, you got anything else, brother? Anything else that?
Yeah, I was gonna say two more things, dude. You got to check out the Flagrant podcast they was on. They flamed Fresh and Fit on the podcast too.
Did they?
Crazy. They flamed them. I just watched that.
You're not just saying that, right? Because the guys be like, "Oh, you just hating." You're not just saying they actually got flamed on Flagrant. They for real got flamed on Flagrant.
When today? Did it just happen?
It was the same time they were all in New York.
Yeah, it just dropped. It just dropped not too long ago.
And they, goddamn, dude.
Shit,
dude. They just got flamed.
This is not. Hey, you better hope. I hope Schultz really fucks with y'all, because if y'all want to go Joe Rogan, that's probably your pathway to that dude, bro. Like, I mean, he goes on Joe Rogan on every other day, bro. So, like, if that's your and that's your angle, right? You better hope that dude likes you. Wow, that's interesting.
What I want to say is this. The game is really simple for all young men watching. If a man does not hold you accountable for his actions and his faults, he is a false prophet. He is bullshit.
Yes.
Anyone who talks to you and they try to externalize your problem, they say it's this fault, it's his fault. When you look at Hitler and what happened in Germany, he said it was the what? He said it was the Jews. Or anyone who externalize a problem is not trying to help you. They are trying to make you a complainer and resentful. And being resentful is going to give you short-term satisfaction. It's coping, like a drug. When you do a bad drug, you're going to feel good in the moment. But 5 years' time, 10 years' time, you're going to regret it. So that's the last thing I want to say.
Yeah. But just think about what they're doing to these young men. They're taking you away from your name.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't even realize it. They're taking you away, and they're trying to say, this is the world according to me. And I want my vision to be your vision. And I want you to see the world through my eyes. And okay, if we got a call with 404. So thank you, 646, for your call. And 404 is calling back in. I respect to you. Let's go ahead and bring in 404, man. Sorry for you. We was about to bring you in, but you hung up on us. You're on 404. What's going on, brother?
Hey. Can everyone hear me?
Yes. What's going on, brother?
Well, if you're talking about, I think y'all had another 404 number.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I guess everybody from Atlanta is just fucking in now, so it's all good. But so if I'm following kind of the thread of the conversation, it's kind of like we're talking about Fresh and Fit, how they kind of say a lot of corny stuff and how they kind of get tripped up and go on different they did like 2 podcasts now. They kind of look goofy. And how they just kind of fuck your game up, kind of talking to women. And like, I think for me, I'm 22, and I haven't had a long-term relationship with a woman yet. It's kind of one thing I'm trying to work on, but I've had encounters, we'll say. And one thing too that kind of is not.
Hang on. It sounds like you're like there's like a beep behind you when you're talking.
Yeah, are you on your speaker or something, sir?
I'm calling from my computer. Let me do one thing real quick. I think I tried.
Yeah, do that one thing. Do that one
Yeah,
thing.
cause like I'm listening. Like I'm like, bro, I can't tell if I'm bobbing my head or listening to what you're saying. Like I'm just, hey, like,
hey, is this better?
Can you call on your phone?
But you could, yeah. If you got, you can call right off your phone.
You can just grab your call on your cell, man, and we'll bring you right in, man.
Okay, yeah, I got you.
Yeah, just call right back. We'll bring you in, brother. Okay, we'll see you 4-4. We'll bring you in and we can talk.
Okay,
all right, respect to you.
Yeah.
All right,
okay,
so
cool.
yeah, guys, y'all want to call in?
So y'all saying he really got flamed? Wow,
Wait,
that's
did he really?
interesting. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I didn't see it.
Oh yeah, put a link.
Like, yeah. Drop a link. I want to see.
Drop a link, please. Yeah, drop a link, guys.
Wild. Hey man, I tell you, it's not the right kind of mainstream look. It's not the right kind of mainstream look, but you know they're gonna capitalize on it, and you know their fans gonna see this as a win because they're childs, and you know, as long as they're gonna keep appealing to the youth, I mean that's probably gonna be their strength. But it is what it is, man. These, I think is he back in? Oh, okay,
all right, now you're back 334 instead of 4. All right, 334. What's up? What's your question? What's up? 334 going once. 334.
It's not 334. This Angelus man from the Great Pill. Want to represent for y'all guys.
Shout out to you, Angelus. What's good, brother?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Looking good. Looking good.
I'm having fun over here, y'all. Hey, listen, I don't take none of this shit seriously, people. This is a learning moment, people.
Complaints and definitely don't goddamn concerns. So, you know, the other thing I gotta say, man, is y'all keep y'all doing what y'all gotta do. I'm listening to y'all guys. I watch y'all guys on from my phone, my 65-inch flat screen TV, from the laptop. Where I'm trying to get my own grind on. So I want to hate on y'all at the same time, and I want to bless you at the same time too. So for the hate,
I appreciate it, man.
Down, so I can grind too. All right, I'll get too started. I'll be listening and laughing.
Hey, Andrews, you already know we rock with you, man. You already know, man. We share that support. We share that love anytime. Hey, yo, man, y'all check out his channel, Angelus, bro. Great Pill Podcast. Check him out, man. Doing some great things. Well, shout out to you, Angelus. Shout out to you. What do you have on the situation, though?
Appreciate y'all. Y'all keep up there.
What do you have? What are your thoughts on it?
Y'all put 40 minutes into it, and just to be fair about it, I'm about to give it up to the Mrs. Renner because she's putting Myers on his ass. You know, if you're an alpha,
you know what?
Be an alpha. You're
right.
According to him, he's not an alpha. But if you're supposed to walk the walk, you're supposed to talk the talk.
Yes.
If it's a duck, it's supposed to be a duck. If you claim you're a grown ass man and you're supposed to be teaching these blue pill guys and have them line up and be the best, quote unquote, to get the most you can get and level up, you're not doing a very good job.
Let me leave it up to the chat real quick. Let me ask the chat real quick because I want to.
What I'm saying from dukendon, what I'm saying from mindset, y'all showing exactly what you're supposed to do on screen and off screen.
Yeah.
Perfect example of what a grown man's supposed to be.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right. Let me ask the chat real quick. Andrews, real quick. Let me ask the chat real quick. All right, guys, I want to hear from you guys. All right, we're gonna play this little music real quick. I want y'all to tell me, put a 1 or 2 in the chat. All right, who came out of this clip? Not talking about the whole podcast, but the clip we dissected today for 2 hours. Who came out the winner? Put a 1 for Renner or 2 for Fresh and Fit. I'll wait.
And 404 and 202, we got y'all guys. So hang in there. We got you for
Let's see it. 1 for Brittany Renner, 2 for Fresh and Fit. Who won? I want to talk it up to the audience. What do you guys think? Oh, shit. All right. The ones are pouring in. Hey.
All right.
Man.
All right.
Dump it off to Brittany Renner.
All right.
Dump it off to her.
All right, Great Pill. Well, we got to grab these other calls, man. But thanks for calling in. Respect to you, brother, okay?
All right, fellas. Keep doing your thing. Y'all have a good one.
All right, respect. All right, 404, you're up next. And 202 DC, we got you next after 404. 404, you back now you got on your regular phone? There you go. You sound better now.
Yeah, I probably don't sound like some Terminator right now.
Yeah. What's going on, man?
All right, so I guess I was monologuing because y'all wasn't making sense. So how much did y'all like catch? If y'all catch anything?
Just like assume we didn't hear shit.
All right, all right, that's cool though. So yeah, I was just gonna say like yeah, this whole a lot of parts of this like whole manosphere, like you got guys like Rollo and Fresh and Fit, like it's worse to be like a complete like immigrant. Like it's better to be like from like China or something than it is to like listen to those guys. That's how hard they mess up your game up. They make you extremely bitter. And like what like woman who respects herself is gonna like stick around with you long term unless you just like some psychopath that just like emotionally or whatever other forms of abuse just to keep them around. And it's just weird. So like for me, like even though I don't have a long-term relationship yet, in terms of like, you know, just dating people and more short-term things, I'm like decently successful for where I am. But one thing that kind of happened to me last year, even though I'm only 22, I actually had a stroke. So I actually completely relearn how to basically communicate with people. So one thing that I really just have to focus on is like, I can't go into a conversation thinking like, man, you know, the world's against me. It just like nobody wants to be around someone like that. So for a lot of guys, it's not even necessarily work on a charisma. Like that helps, but like you should first work on just being a good person first. Like nobody wants to, like if you listen to all these like Rolo guys, nobody wants to be around somebody who's so like pumped up on their own bullshit and like can't nobody tell them anything.
Negative.
No, you're facts. You're facts. And here's the one thing, because you actually just pointing that out, and I want to really hammer this home, because this is why, if you want to talk about why I really went hard at guys like the Rolo Tomasis of the world, I'm still gonna go hard at them. But like I've eased up on Fresh and Fit this year. It's not their year, it's the year of the other chumps over here. But why I've eased up on them is because I understand that, like, listen, man, a lot of guys, what they really want is relationships. And what these guys are trying to sell you, on this dream that you can have these rotations, you can deal with all these different girls, and that's just the life you want to live, right? Because they're trying to market to you that, hey, having more of what you don't really need is better. And that's not what it is, because then it makes guys feel inadequate, because instead of trying to, like, you know, try to find meaningful relationship with women that they can cherish and actually build up or help build up, they're out here trying to find all these rotations that can be building, because they're listening to all these guys who are posting their Instagram life, making it seem like these dudes are missing out. And that's the problem. So a lot of guys are failing to realize that and that's one thing I realized, and I sniffed out. I sniffed that right away. I'm like, yo, listen, I've ran rotations, okay? And I like, listen, it's not as like hyped up that these guys are trying to hype it up to be. It's a lot of attention. If you're trying to build yourself to be a high value person, you don't have the attention span to focus on that. You really don't. You don't have the attention to balance all of that. Maybe 2 or 3 at most, but 5, that's crazy. So that's why I tell you guys, a lot of guys, especially the point of this podcast, well, at least the first point is obviously calling out these fuckers. Like that's exhibit number 1. So for those of you guys filling in, that's what we on here. That's number 1. But number 2 is also helping guys understand it's okay to just say, I want a relationship. How can I go about finding that? How can I go about developing myself as a man to go ahead and track that few minority of women that these guys are saying that are rare, that bring them to me? Because they're there. The reason why these girls, they get snapped up real quickly. And the reason why is because the guys who are already ready by that point in time are already ready, and they meet up right away, and they get married and they're gone. Yeah. And they're off the market. So how can you build yourself to be that person and attract that person to you?
And for 202, we got you just a second, but 844 peep game. See, all I ask you guys to do is not, I always say this, don't believe me, see it for yourself. And if you actually look and see, I know you see it, but a lot of young men your age don't see it. But what I'm saying is that why aren't these guys showing you how to set up your crib? Why aren't these guys showing you how to put up sexual paintings up? Why aren't these guys showing you how to walk up and put your bid in with a woman? Why aren't these guys showing you how to touch a woman, how to whisper in her ear, how to make her pussy wet between her ears, how to text her, how to talk on the phone? They're not doing any of that because they don't know that shit. All the things a lot of young men want to know. You can't learn any of that if all you're saying is women ain't shit. Women ain't shit.
Yeah, basically,
Fuck
woman
these.
bad.
Yeah, woman bad. Yes, woman bad. Woman
oversimplified.
bad. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Get the lights up, guys. Come on.
Some robot.
Yes.
Giving you some good show here, people. Get the lights up.
All right, 4-4. We'll throw you back in, man. And thank you, man, for the call. We got to bring in 202 now, okay, my brother?
Okay, yeah.
All right, respect to you, man. Thank you, sir.
All
right, 202. You in DC, so you better represent the DMV, baby. Go ahead, 202. What's up, man?
Well, peace, man. How you doing, gentlemen? How you doing?
What's up? What's up?
Good,
I'm actually a native New Yorker living in DC.
Oh, okay,
but, It
okay.
is what it is.
All right.
Well, here's the thing. This is room for interpretation, gentlemen. But what you witness for the world, for the world to see, I mean, is it safe to say that we need to redefine high value? What I mean by that is this. Usually, I'm not saying all, but the names you called out, D&D, is always the material aspect is always the barometer to debunk talking points coming from women. How about whatever their talking points are. But what you see right there is the fact that money can't save you in a situation like that. I'm just saying. Now, I personally, I think the cooperative components that go with the material aspect is also morals, principles, and ethics. That's something that women can't debunk. I don't care what walk of life she comes from. Like me, I don't make six figures, but I've had to chin check chicks like Brittany and whatnot, because I'm an older millennial too, and I went to school with chicks like that, and I had to put them in their place, even though I was categorized as a nerd and all this other stuff. But I had to put them in their place to let them know, look here, I might look like a nerd from the physical, but that doesn't mean, like, we get caught up by the optics, like, oh, if he looks a certain way, then he must be this, until they're confronted with that individual. I just say that to say, gentlemen, I think we should redefine high value and incorporate like a more other components to that, like
202
principles, ethics, standing on something, because them dudes don't stand for nothing.
Right,
but I'm just saying, you gotta stand on something.
Dean, but I want to let you go. Go ahead.
Yeah. 202. This is what I'm saying. The person that told you high value is not a dating coach. It was somebody that showed you how to put your blacks with your jeans, how to put your whites with your blues, and all fashion. He's not a dating coach. But people think he's a dating coach because he yelled at a few women and made a few women look silly. And then he came up with a catchphrase word called high value. And the fact that caller, I think you young, old enough.
To be fair, he didn't come up with it. Right. Yeah. Okay.
Right. No, the caller. All right. You've watched wrestling, right? Have you ever watched wrestling?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me explain something real quick. The thing in the 90s that Vince McMahon had to come up with, because they were kayfabing. That means they were all the wrestlers were playing and portraying a role. But the way Vince had to sell the wrestlers is that he had to give every one of those words a catchphrase. And the catchphrase was, when they started it, the crowd would finish it. So the crowd would be connected to the wrestler. So when The Rock grabbed the microphone and said, if you smell, the crowd would say what The Rock is cooking.
What The Rock is cooking, baby.
Right, because that was you see what I'm saying? That made you feel connected to The Rock, because you felt like, oh my God, I'm connected to Rock. So what these guys are doing is they're in line right now looking for the next catchphrase. Because they went from MGTOW to being purpose to clothes, money, and status to no fap to going overseas to now it's high value man. And what these young boys are doing is they're waiting for the next catchphrase. And that's the problem. A man is not a catchphrase. He's a motherfucking man. He speaks his own language. He doesn't speak the language of the other men. I don't speak the language of Duke, and Duke is a motherfucking man. And Duke doesn't speak the language of me. I'm a motherfucking man. But we are two independent motherfuckers come together. We can spit game on the same level just because we're men. We understand each other. We don't have to regurgitate everything for each other. You see what I'm saying, man?
But I understand. No, I 100% agree. But I understand where you're coming from too, because I want to touch up on that point where we need to redefine that high value thing, and to an extent, yeah, because what it has done, and here's the thing, right? I call it great value. I use that great value, I use that interchangeably, right? Because that's what it is to me. You're only focusing on the material aspect of it, right? And what I see where you're coming from in the sense of when you're talking about actual relationship, because the material stuff, they're not going to lead to real fulfillment. They're not going to lead to real meaningful relationships. They may enhance it, but it's not going to be the cause of it. So you can list off 6 figures, 100%, 100K earning, for the past 5 years consistently, the networks, you can list all of that, but then we're missing all this other stuff that are important to relationships, which is character, which is integrity, right? Those are 2 concepts of what makes a person and how they move throughout the world, right? Because when you understand somebody's character, you understand their motivations. And when you understand their motivations, you can suss out their integrity and see if it's real or not. That's just what it is. This stuff is easy, man. This is the thing that we've had that has been innate with us, but we've had all this confusion, we've all this noise, essentially the modern day kayfabe, like Dean was talking about. This is what stirs up a lot of confusion. This stuff's easy. We don't have to overcomplicate things. So we just got to understand what we're needing to do. That the materialistic stuff they pivot to.
If you're gonna call yourself a coach, if you're gonna call yourself a dating coach or whatever you call yourself, I'm referring to F&F and Roller Tamasi, those guys. If you're gonna teach these young men about how to be men, teach them metaphysics too. Meaning, teach them how to think.
Okay.
Think beyond what's in front of them, so that way they won't be bombarded by all of this 3D nonsense.
Right.
If that makes any sense.
Right. No. Call real quick. Okay, you say the key word. How can you be a dating coach when you're not teaching any dating?
I was just about to, because my thing is in terms of titles, I got to give them a little break. Now, if they're actively calling themselves that, that's fine. But let me tell you this, because people ascribe that title to them too as well. Like when I came into the space, I didn't say I was a dating coach. I didn't say I was shit. Matter of fact, I told y'all I was an ain't shit dude, and y'all ascribed that dating shit to me. Why? Because all I did is tell y'all like interpersonal dynamics, sales skills. That's all I do. I teach y'all the skills that y'all should learn in skills. Basically, the tools I learned in the sales management industry, I'm bringing it here, and I'm helping y'all, and I'm using what they're saying in terms of dealing with people and comparing it to what my experiences were, professional experiences, right? Kevin Samuels for using a sales world too as well. So when they talk about this stuff, yeah, that's what they have to fall back on. But ultimately, when people start to see that you're making sense and maybe you know a little bit more about the topic or subject matter than not, they start to put that a sign of authority on you, right? A dating coach, right? That's signifying, right? Because now they want a sign that they're in tune, that they want to learn. The problem is a lot of guys, especially coming into this market, they're either no experience, little experience, or they're fucking kids. And in that case, they fall in the no experience category. And they come into it thinking that what these guys are saying is completely factual, but it's not. That's where the problem comes in, because then they're going with the wrong information and say, oh, you guys are the best dating coaches, right? Because they see all the stuff around them, the women, the cars, all that. But they don't realize that it's manufactured. It's just like reality TV. It's anything but real, right? It's all manufactured. It's all acting. As a matter of fact, reality TV shows are there's more cuts and edits than there are in fucking actual like TV. Like, that's what it is. So it's manufactured. The guys take it for reality. And that's the problem. Go ahead.
Yeah. Call it real quick. Call it peep game. See, back in the 80s, because I'm 50, I'm old motherfucker. So back in the day, the rappers, we used to think the rappers the jewelry was really theirs, that they rented. We thought the cars were really theirs, that they bought or they rented or leased. We thought the house was theirs, that they borrowed. That's what they do. But see, what you have to understand about young men today is that young white guys are going to follow young white guys, and young black guys are going to follow young black guys, because they're under the impression that this guy knows me just like I am, because we're the same age or the same color or we have the same mindset, so they can help me navigate. But a lot of these young guys' nuts have not even dropped from their motherfucking stomach. They don't know what game is. They think game is actually a fucking woman. They actually think game has to do with women. And if you're listening to anyone that tells you that women have everything to do with the game, you better fucking run like Jason's chasing your ass, because they're gonna give you the wrong information, brother.
Yeah. Shit, you got anything to add?
To add on what you said, man, I'm gonna tell you something. I've never said this before to anyone. If you said you're 50, I'm gonna tell you something, man. I would rather like your generation, I kind of envy your generation to a certain degree.
Oh yeah, we did it
because the lines weren't blurred in your younger years. I'm just saying, when you were in your 20s and 30s, the lines weren't blurred.
Yes.
Yeah, you had whores. Yeah, you had hoes and whatnot, but the lines weren't blurred.
Never.
And most women kind of still knew their place.
Yes.
And even dudes.
I was just about to say everybody knew their roles and nobody
kind of stood in their lane to a certain degree too. I'm just saying, man.
That's real shit.
It's a different world, though. I mean, you gotta understand. But that's where adaptation comes in. You gotta learn how to adapt, right? You gotta learn how to change up. And the people who don't adapt, well, they die. It is what it is.
These millennial chicks, man. These millennial chicks and these millennial dudes, man. They got that group think mentality, man, and that's what got them fucked up today.
Yeah, they want to cuddle.
Saying,
they want to cuddle and shit. They want to cuddle with each other and shit.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that don't make sense, man. But keep up the good work, gentlemen.
All right,
I don't want to take up your time.
All right,
do.
Hey.
We got one more.
Yeah,
let's take one more call. Let's take one more call. Get the lights up, people.
317, you the last call, my brother. You up, man? What's up with you, 317? What's up?
We're good, Steve.
Hey, what's up with you? What's your question? What's your comment, brother? What's up?
Well, I want to say it's good that Farts got their ass chewed out because it shows a lot of these guys get out here and they look for internet idols. They don't have the strength nor resolve to stand on their own, develop themselves, have a mind of their own.
Shit.
Yeah. Yes. And it's weak as fuck when you're sitting there using someone's hand to show up your ass and talk for you instead of putting voice into your own life via your actions, intents, and understanding of yourself. That as you said earlier, that's what game is, not just pussy.
Yes.
It's about fucking the shit out of your purpose and understanding what's going on out here. And I've always said it always takes a pussy to expose and control one. You saw two of them. One today.
Hold on. Hey.
Oh shit.
Hey, goddamn. Hey, keep it going, brother.
Go ahead, keep going, brother. You got the floor, man. Go for it, man.
That was a good one. Definitely caught me off guard for sure. I'm like,
yeah, it takes a level of understanding of who you are. There's some guys who like certain things. You get information as far as like books, and you find your passion. But when you maximize that, you start understanding how the world works, how you work, how you make a difference with your presence and your purpose. You start understanding that instead of having to pay for pussy and attention, you have people like do what they can to be around you and pay attention to what you do. And you lead by example.
Because you're the it dude now. You're the it guy. That's what everybody wants to be, the it guy, right? Here's the thing. I tell this all the time. You guys, especially if you guys are younger, we don't have the younger crowds. We're not as fortunate as Fresh and Fit, all right? We have like 0.1% of those guys. Listen, the overwhelming majority of you guys are in the 25, 80 years of age, all the way up until the 45. So I guess, and it's crazy. I'm 27, so I'm appealing to a lot of people older than me. That's interesting, right? But it makes sense. But hey, if I could reach out to the young guys, right? The one thing I would say is you got to think that life is a video game. All right, just like in a video game, you design a character, you design what kind of hats, if it's buff, if it's fat, if it is. The point of the matter is you decide what kind of character that person is, right? You build up that character, and what do? You go out into the video game world, the virtual world, and you go interact with other characters and go on missions and quests and things like that. It's no different in the real world. The real world, you yourself are a character. That's what it is. So what you do is you build yourself up. Now, instead of a video game like plug and play and putting little t-shirts on and what the person's going to be, the real world, you actually have to kind of grind a little bit to get those same things, right? But it's still a little bit of work, right? So when you build that character up, now you're going out and you're interacting with the world. What do you want what do you want the world to see? A manufactured version of you, or what the character that you really, really wanted to be? A lot of people, they already know that they have the characters within, but the thing is they change themselves to try to fit what they think other people want or what they think they see. All right, you already have that. So go out there and interact with the world with the character that you are, and then adapt accordingly. That's what it is. Go on your mission. Go on the side quest, because you already have your mission lined out and planned out in the video game, right? Everything's all lined out for you. That's what you got to go in the real world and do. It's running parallels. So young guys, understand and visualize what kind of person you see yourself in the next 5 years. What are you doing? How are you behaving? What are your mannerisms like, right? Are you better with women? Are you not better with women? Where do you got to start thinking and formulating that picture, all right, of that future you. And you got to start looking up to that future you, that ideal you. And every day you wake up, you have to make those decisions to become that person each and every single day, and become more consciously aware about the decision you make. You see what I'm saying? So as you go through that, eventually with 5 years like that, and you become that person, like you are that character you set out to create. You see what I'm saying? And other people, here's a crazy thing. Other people in the real world, right, in the real world would notice that character and start to behave like when they treat you, they'll start to treat you differently.
Right. And here's the beautiful thing about the character. When you're the character, the more you level up, the more perks you open up. And that's what all you guys that play Call of Duty. I play Call of Duty. I'm a big ass kid. Call of Duty, Battlefield, Madden, you name it. The more you level up, the more perks you unlock, the more weapons, the more movement. And that's how it works in life. But you're not going to get through life if you're doing what I call the judgments. The first judgment is judgment of self, saying that I'm not good enough. I'm too short, too ugly. I don't have enough money or enough clothes. The second judgment is judging a woman, looking at a woman and automatically saying that because she looks good, you say, well, she's the kind of woman that will date. You fill in the line. That's judgment number 2. Judgment number 3 is you trying to fit in the narrative of what you think that woman wants you to be in order for her to like you. And last but not least, number 4 is worrying about other men, looking at other men and judging yourself off of other men, or taking what another man does and using that as a reason why you can't do it. You got to get rid of the judgments, man.
Absolutely. And last thing I'll leave you off with, man, at the end of each goddamn level, all right, that boss you got to face, it's usually yourself. It's yourself, because a lot of times you're standing in your own way. At the end of the day, that last boss in the real world, instead of being some wild monster in the video game, it's actually you. You see what I'm saying? So learn how to get out of your own way. And that's it. Fresh and Fit, what we basically brought up to you guys, it's them stumbling in their own way, their own contradictions biting them in the ass. So don't stand in your own way. That's why when you're going through troubles in life, the first person you should be looking at to blame is the person staring back at you in the mirror. All right. So I appreciate you calling, bro. Thank you very much. We're going to start closing it down. Steve the Dean, what you got to say, bro? Last words, last thoughts.
Shout out to my motherfucking dog, the Duke. And shout out to
you already know how we do it, baby.
Shout out to everybody in the chat room. And I just want to say 2 things to you guys that I always say when I go live on my shows. Guys, always remember before you go to bed at night to remember the graveyard. Always remember everybody in there had one thing in common, and they thought they had tomorrow coming to them. Live every day like it is your motherfucking last. And the last thing I want you to do after the show is over with, go get a glass, get a cup, fill it with beer, wine, juice, Kool-Aid. I don't give a fuck. Fill it up with something. Take that cup into the mirror in the bathroom. Look at that motherfucker in the mirror and say, I love you. I got your motherfucking back, and I'm going to ride with you like 4 fucking flats, and hold your glass up to that mirror, toast that motherfucker in the mirror, and I promise you, not only will he say the same thing back to you, he will toast your ass back. Thank you, Duke, for having me on this motherfucker, man.
Any fucking time, Dean.
My
dog. Toast. Let's make it happen, man. Hey, guys, you fucking with the show tonight. Man, we delivered. So you thought we didn't drop some knowledge? You go ahead and hit that like button, hit that sub button, that bell notification, because we'll be back at chat tomorrow, and you guys definitely don't want to miss the show. And please head on over to my boy Steve's channel and hit that sub button and like button like you're doing here. Share the love, share the wealth, and we will be back at you with another one. Peace.